Chapter 2553. That's enough. There's no one here. Let's talk here. Zhang Manlin looked at Jixin impatiently. You know why I'm here, don't you? Jixin looked at the face that resembled his sister's seriously. Are you kidding me? How would I know? I'm not a fortune teller. Young man, let's not waste time, okay? Just tell me. Zhang Manlin didn't want to waste time with Jixin, so her attitude was very harsh. Very well. Since you said so, I'll get straight to the point. You're the woman who appeared on the news with my brother-in-law today, right? So what if I am? Zhang Manlin asked provocatively. My sister likes to wear casual clothes, and she likes light yellow. What a coincidence. You like it too. There are plenty of people who wear the same clothes. Is that strange? It's not strange. But what's wrong with being a mistress and stealing someone else's husband at such a young age? Are you talking about me? Zhang Manlin sneered. Am I talking about myself? Jixin's tone was very harsh. This woman was extremely arrogant. She didn't look like his sister at all. To say that she resembled his sister was an insult to his sister. You're a mistress just because you met President Qin for a meal? If that's the case, it only means that your sister and brother-in-law's relationship is very fragile and insecure. It's one thing for them to be in a good relationship, and another thing for others to interfere. Miss Zhang, you're still very young. You don't have to do something so despicable, right? So you're here to persuade me today? Zhang Manlin looked down and played with her fingers. She obviously didn't care about Jixin. You can think of it that way. What if I don't listen to you? Threaten me? Get someone to beat me up? Or throw money at me? Zhang Manlin looked at Jixin with a smile. Beat you up? No, I don't hit women. There's no need to threaten you. As for throwing money at you, you're overthinking it. I don't think you're that valuable. It was also the first time in Jixin's life that he had a verbal argument with a woman and then indirectly scolded her. Zhang Manlin wasn't stupid. She could tell. It's not up to you to decide if I'm valuable or not. So you're here today to help your sister persuade me to back off? Jixin didn't speak. Then you could go back. I have my own personality when it comes to doing things. I won't change my mind just because of what others say. If I want to do something, I will try my best to do it. If I don't want to do it, it's useless even if a knife is held to my neck. If that's the case, then pretend I didn't say anything. But let me give you a piece of advice. You're on your own because past experiences have proven that anyone who goes against my sister usually ends up well. From Zhao Qingyao to Song Yishir, Jian Tong, and Mo Shuer, none of them are comparable to you. But so what? That's why it's better for people to know their own limits. If you don't seek death, you won't die. Really? But I just like to court death. That's good. Then you can die early and reincarnate early. After saying this, Jixin turned around and left. He didn't want to talk to her anymore. This woman clearly did it on purpose. She also did it on purpose to get close to his brother-in-law. However, brother-in-law still fell for it. This kid, he's really an idiot. Zhang Manlin looked at Jixin's back with disdain. Jixin met with Zhang Manlin in private. He didn't want his sister to know. So, when he left, he deliberately left through the back door. However, Huamin still found out. Jixin stopped. Huamin hurried out the door to catch up with his brother. Chapter 2554. Sis, why did you come out? The entire hospital knows you're here. How can I not know? The entire hospital knows? Is it that serious? Jixin scratched his head and continued to play dumb. When Jixin arrived, someone from the finance department saw him, and the news spread like wildfire while they were having lunch. It was impossible for Huamin not to know, so Huamin skipped lunch and hurried out. She happened to block Jixin at the door, and he didn't have time to leave. Jixin, you want to see Zhang Manlin? Yeah, don't do that again. Why? Sis, are you really going to continue being a bun? Are you really going to let those bitches ride on your head? Jixin was a little angry. No, it's not like that. I'll take care of my own business. Don't get involved. Sis, I'm doing this for your own good. I know. Just do your job. I can take care of my own business. If you can really take care of it, you wouldn't have come back to live here in the middle of the night and left my nieces at home. Sis, tell me the truth. Are you guys in a Cold War? Why are you two in conflict? How did Zhang Manlin take advantage of the situation? Is it just because she's younger than you? Jixin asked angrily. Forget it. I don't want to talk about this. Anyway, Jixin, don't get involved in this. The more people get involved, the more complicated it gets. Sis, do you think I'm being a busybody? Huamin didn't wait for him to finish. Jixin continued. Sis, people nowadays don't care if things get out of hand. If you weren't my biological sister, I wouldn't care if you gave me money. But you're different. We grew up together, and you've done so much for me and for this price. I really can't let anyone bully you, not even my brother-in-law. You've suffered a lot, and I don't want you to suffer anymore. Jixin grabbed his sister's shoulder, his heart aching. He suddenly felt that she had lost a lot of weight recently and was a little fragile. Jixin, I understand your intentions. That's why I'll definitely stand on your side. If you continue to be stubborn, Bella and I have already discussed it. We'll resign and quit working at GK. Resign? No, don't mess around. Huamin firmly objected. You don't have to persuade me. I'm an adult now. I went to GK because it's my brother-in-law's company, and I thought we were family, so I could help him. But now, my brother-in-law is seeing another woman in the middle of the night and doesn't care about my sister's reputation. As a brother-in-law, I'm really a coward. I'm an adult, and I can find a job anywhere. I don't have to live under someone else's roof and suffer all this. Jixin, don't be impulsive. Your brother-in-law and I, it's not like what the media is saying. Maybe we've had some problems recently, but it's not to the point of a divorce. What marriage red light? It's just a publicity stunt. Other people might not know, but as a family member, don't blindly follow the trend, okay? Huamin couldn't directly tell Jixin that he and Qin Shu were acting, so he could only explain it in a roundabout way. However, Jixin's talent wasn't as high as Huamin's. The more his sister tried to explain, the more he felt that his sister was wronged. Sis, don't try to persuade me anymore. I've already made up my mind. After all, I already scolded Zhang Manlin today. For you, I'm willing to do anything. Okay, it's almost time for you to go to work. Are you still coming home tonight? No, I miss the kids. I'm going back to South Hill Manor tonight. Okay, call me if you need anything. Huamin nodded and watched Jixin drive away. The Bumblebee sports car was a gift from Qin Shu when Jixin was still on campus. He was a sentimental person, and he still drove it to this day. Dr. Hua, what are you thinking about? Lu Zhe appeared beside Huamin out of nowhere and asked gently with a slightly smile. Chapter 2555. It's nothing. Huamin put her hands in the pockets of her lab coat and lowered her head. Her black glasses covered her eyes. It was hard to tell what was on her mind. I saw the news. So, Huamin tilted her head and looked at him. I wanted to comfort you, but looking at you now, I don't think you need it. Why? Because you've always been a girl with a strong mind. You're not like those girls with princess syndrome, who are all pretentious and whine about nothing. You've overestimated me. I'm just an ordinary person. I trust my intuition, Lu Zhe said. Don't talk like we're close. I don't like this feeling. Huamin didn't give him any face. Then what kind of feeling do you like? Lu Zhe moved closer to Huamin's face. Huamin subconsciously took a few steps back. She didn't like to be in close contact with men other than Qin Shu, especially when it came to skin contact. Don't be afraid. I won't eat you. Lu Zhe continued to laugh. Dr. Lu, you really know how to joke. It's almost time for work. I'll go back to my office first. Huamin didn't want to waste more time with Lu Zhe. She turned around and was about to leave when Lu Zhe suddenly spoke. There's something I'm curious about. After he said this, Huamin stopped in her tracks. She didn't turn around, as if she was waiting for him to continue. I can't believe you're so nice to that dummy Wei Dong. What's so special about him? He's just a country bumpkin, a nouveau riche. Whenever he has some money, he wants to show off to the world that he's rich. When he's poor, he's no better than a beggar on the street. If you're nice to Han Su, I could understand. After all, he's the class president and he's good-looking. But you're so impatient with me, yet you're willing to give Wei Dong 5 million yuan without an IOU. Huamian, you're such a strange woman. If everyone wanted to understand me, then I wouldn't be Huamin. I'd be 10086. Plus, I'm not RMB. I can make everyone like me. As for Wei Dong, I'm curious. How did you know about this? Wei Dong definitely wouldn't tell you. Also, if you want to know the reason, then I'll tell you. No matter how much Wei Dong shows off, he's still innocent. But even if you're rich, you don't have a good heart. Of course, I'd stay away from you. I'm not stupid, am I? How do you know I don't have a good heart? Huamin, did I do anything to hurt you? Lu Zhe said with a wronged expression. It's not that you didn't do it, it's that you didn't have a chance. I didn't give you the chance. Lu Zhe, I don't know why you came back to China, but I think you approached me with a purpose. So, don't pretend to be a thief. Don't compare yourself to Wei Dong. Wei Dong was my classmate for 3 years. You're just a transfer student. To be honest, if Han Su didn't mention you to me, I wouldn't know who you are. After that, Huamin turned around and left. Lu Zhe didn't feel good about it. This wasn't the first time Huamin had insulted him. Haha, it seems like the situation is more complicated than I expected. What a difficult woman to deal with, Lu Zhe muttered to himself. On the way back to the office, Huamin was still listening to her colleagues' comments. They all said that the meeting between her husband and Zhang Manlin last night was expected. To be honest, she wasn't sad at all. But at this point, would Hui Siqin believe her? Thinking about this, Huamin felt that she needed to add fuel to the fire and make this show more realistic. So, after returning to the office, Huamin made a public Weibo post. There were only 8 simple words. She wrote, Chapter 25:56. If you don't care about this life, you won't care about the next. Such simple and clear words, but they were like a stone that stirred up 1,000 ripples. Within half an hour, more than 50,000 people left comments on Huamin's Weibo. Huamian's true fans were heartbroken. Some of the comments in the front row said, Huamian, good luck, Dr. Mian. I haven't seen you post on Weibo in a while. I didn't think you'd post at a time like this. I'd rather believe that this isn't real. Goddess Hua, please explain. Tell us that this isn't real. Dr. Hua, are you and Mr. Qin okay? Something really happened between the two of you. Please don't. Otherwise, I'll never believe in love again. I always thought that the two of you would never break up. I can't believe it. If Mr. Qin really did something to hurt you, we won't forgive him. Mian, think about the twins. Don't be impulsive. Do you really not love them anymore? How could this be? I'm so sad. What a heartbreaking piece of news. Huamin's public post on Weibo was very thought-provoking. Many media outlets carefully interpreted these words in order to hype up the ratings and draw attention to themselves. That night, a famous livestream platform even invited the most famous relationship expert, Mr. G, to talk about this. So you happened to be home for dinner. Lord Su was home, and so were his parents. It was rare for the family of 4 to gather together. Mrs. Su made some sweet soup and brought it to the table. Just then, the female host on the TV said in a serious tone, GK Corporation CEO, Mr. Qin Chu, and his wife, Ms. Huamin, have both been exposed for cheating. This has attracted a lot of attention. Today, we've invited the master of horoscope analysis, Ms. Xiaomin, to analyze what might happen next. Then, a middle-aged woman in her 30s began to talk about the storm between Qin Chu and Huamian. First of all, let's take a look. President Qin is a Scorpio, a very cold, black-bellied, and even a bit fickle. The man of this constellation is cold and indifferent, just like a Scorpion, and his wife is a fussy Virgo. To be honest, these two constellations are not very compatible because there are too many differences. Recently, Saturn happened to enter the Palace of Love, which made things worse for them. Based on the current situation, their marriage is indeed not very optimistic. Motherfucker, I hate these swindlers the most. Liars. Their words are also unpleasant to hear. So you couldn't take it anymore. You picked up the remote control and turned off the TV. Then, the atmosphere at the dining table was dead silent. You, go ahead, Grandpa. So you took big bites of his food and pretended not to care. What's going on between Huamian and Chu? How did the whole city know about it? Lord Su asked with a sigh. I'm not sure. I haven't been in contact with him recently. But from what I know, it's probably another media hype. I don't think it's that simple this time. Didn't you see Mian's Weibo post? Mrs. Su asked worriedly. Really? No, I didn't follow it. So you said deliberately. You're acting a bit strange this time. Mr. Su looked at his son, a bit puzzled. Hey, what's strange about it? They're husband and wife. Even if they fight, they'll make up. As an outsider, it's not my place to interfere. Even an honest official can't solve a family dispute, let alone a friend like me. I don't want to worry about that. You guys should stay calm, okay? Suyu tried to persuade everyone. After a hurried dinner, Suyu found an excuse to drive to the Su mansion. After he came out, he immediately opened Weibo. Sure enough, Huomin's Weibo post became a trending topic. The words "in this life, there's no need to talk about the next life" also went viral and was used by many netizens. Suyu thought for a moment and couldn't help but send Huomin a WeChat message. "Mian, can you tell me what happened?" Chapter 25:57. We're fine. Huomin replied with a few words. How is that possible? Do you look fine? Qin Chu is in the headlines, and you're on the hot search list. Huomin remained silent. I saw the post you just posted, Suyu said. Oh. Huomin gave a perfunctory oh. Huomin, am I your friend? Suyu asked in all seriousness. Of course. Then can you tell me what happened? I want to help you. Huomin didn't know what to say. She really wanted to tell Suyu that he didn't need to worry about them and that they were just acting. However, Qin Chu said that no one other than the two of them could know about this. She didn't know if Huasiqian had installed a listening device on Suyu's side. If she wasn't careful, all her efforts would be in vain. Therefore, Huomin hesitated and didn't know what to say. She didn't want to drag Suyu into this, but she couldn't avoid it. He cared too much about her feelings and emotions, including the post she purposely showed to Huasiqian. Suyu saw it, and his heart ached for her. Let me ask you, did Qin Chu really cheat on you this time? He didn't cheat on you, it's not that complicated. But Qin Chu did meet that woman named Zhang Manlin, Huomin replied. Zhang Manlin? Haha, I knew that nothing good would come out of that woman's appearance. So you thought back to everything that had happened recently and felt that something was wrong. But, to be honest, Zhang Manlin looks a lot like me when I was younger. Even Jixin has the same impression, so I can understand why Qin Chu feels differently towards her. Huomin said slowly. Understand my ass. Huomin, are you out of your mind? You can understand anything else, but you don't need to understand this. This is something that will destroy your worldview. Let's not talk about whether Zhang Manlin looks like you when you were a young girl. I've never seen you when you were a young girl. But even if you look like her, so what? After all, she's not your real self. Just like Li Kuei and Li Gui. How can they be the same person? In the entertainment industry, there are always people who look the same, but no matter who you imitate, the imitator will never become famous. I know this the best. Zhang Manlin only looks a little like you. How can a shallow woman like her compare to you? Suyu seemed a little agitated. After a series of questions, Huomin was silent for a moment and was about to speak. Suyu continued. Huomin, where's that overbearing and arrogant aura of yours from before? You shouldn't be such an unconfident woman. Suyu, I'm scared too. I think, what if I'm no longer Qin Chu's only one? What if he really doesn't care about me anymore? What should I do in the future? After all, he's the only thing that keeps me happy in my life. Huomin sounded very sad when she said this. Suyu felt a faint pain in his heart. He didn't know if it was for Huomin or for himself. I don't think Qin Chu is such a weak person. Maybe there's another reason. Have you guys talked about it? We did, but in the end, we parted on bad terms. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So the Cold War between you guys is real? It's also real that you went back to your mother's house, right? Suyu confirmed what Tang Chuan said before. Chapter 25:58. Yeah, Huomin admitted it. So that's how it is. I guess I underestimated you. Suyu, I'm fine. Don't worry. Bullshit. How can I not worry when you're like this? Suyu rarely got mad at Huomin, but this was a different story. Huomin, let me ask you, is the problem with Zhang Manlin? If we get rid of her, the problem will be solved. What do you want to do? Suyu, don't do anything rash. Huomin was scared. Why did Suyu's words sound so scary? What I want to do? Of course I want to help my friend. Also, I'll talk to Qin Chu when I have the chance. Don't be sad. You should go home for the next few days. Otherwise, the kids will miss you. Okay, I'll go back to South Hill Manor today. Okay, Suyu, don't mess with Zhang Manlin. I'm afraid things will backfire. If that happens, Qin Shu will think that I told you to do it, and the misunderstanding will get worse. I won't be that reckless. Let's see how it goes. Okay. After talking to Su Yu on the phone, Huamin felt guilty and blamed himself. They put on an act, but in the end, they still dragged the innocent Su Yu into it. At this time, they couldn't say it out loud. Hua Corporation headquarters, Hua Xiqian put down his earphones. After listening to Su Yu and Huamin's conversation, he fell into deep thought again. Listening to their conversation, Huamian did have a fight with Qin Shu and was troubled. Su Yu was also worried, but was Huamian putting on an act, or was it real? Hua Xiqian was a paranoid person to begin with, so he kept thinking about it even when Zhang Manlin told him about Qin Shu's real reaction. Even though there were spies in South Hill Manor monitoring Huamin and Qin Shu's every move, he was still worried. After all, this was his final gamble. He had even taken out the trump card that he had been nurturing for 5 years. If he lost this time, there would be no way for him to make a comeback. Boss. Ah Chung, any news from Ian? Yes, Master Ian has returned to Pakistan. It is said that an important arms deal has been disrupted. All right, it's better to keep him busy so that he won't keep staring at me. Sir, what will happen to Ian after you take Miss Hua away? Will he let you go so easily? That's not a problem. As long as you're willing to leave with me, I can take care of everything else, Hua Xiqian said confidently. When Huamin came home from work, Little Bean threw herself at him and burst into tears as soon as he walked in. Little Bean, what's wrong? Don't scare Mommy. Huamin panicked. He put down his bag and picked up the chubby Little Bean. Mommy, what took you so long? I missed you so much. Why did you leave me and Sis behind when you quarreled with Daddy? We really didn't want to be your scapegoat. Mommy was wrong. I won't do it again. Where's Sis? Huamin looked around and saw that Pudding wasn't home. Sis was sent to Annie Xiaowei's house by the driver. She went to see Wei Yunshu. Then why didn't you go? Mommy, you're confused. If I wanted to go, I would go to Annie Lingling's house. Gao Buiyuan is my cup of tea. Huamin kids nowadays? Huamin was both angry and amused by his daughter's words. Wei Manor. Pudding, what's going on with your mommy and daddy? Jiang Xiaowei asked casually as she added more food for Pudding. Chapter 2559. Ahem. Mom, it's rare for Pudding to come to our house for dinner. Can you not spoil the mood? Before Pudding could reply, Wei Yinshu couldn't take it anymore and rolled his eyes at Jiang Xiaowei. Ah, honey, look, our son is criticizing you. You're so smart. You shouldn't make such a stupid mistake. Eat your food and shut up. Jiang Xiaowei glared at Wei Liao. Uncle Wei, Annie Xiaowei, actually my daddy and mommy. Pudding, let's not talk about this. Let's eat. Don't mind them. They love to gossip. It's boring. Wei Yinshu obviously cared about his wife and didn't want his parents to get involved. He also didn't want Pudding to talk about it. Then, Wei Yinshu picked up an Argentinian prawn and put it in Pudding's bowl. You like seafood. Eat more. It's fresh. My grandma sent someone to deliver it to me today. I told her that you're coming to our house for dinner. She took it very seriously. If she didn't go to a relative's birthday party with my grandpa, they would have come today. You don't have to be so formal. I'm just bored at home, so I came out to get some fresh air, Pudding explained in a low voice. Pudding, you should come often. My son likes you a lot. After Wei Liao said this, he gave his son a look. He meant, kid, this is all I can do for you. Okay, I'll come often. Pudding didn't hesitate and ate her food elegantly. Wei Yinshu was much more enthusiastic than usual because of Pudding's arrival. After dinner, Jiang Xiaowei cut some fruits for the two kids. Wei Liao had something to do and drove out. The TV was playing the gossip between Huamin and Qin Shu. Wei Yinshu immediately picked up the remote control and turned it off. He didn't want Pudding to feel uncomfortable. Pudding, on the other hand, was very calm. Compared to Little Bean, she was really unfazed. Pudding, what are you thinking about? Wei Yinshu saw that she was spacing out. Yinshu, I want ice cream. Sure, I have a lot in my fridge. Wei Yinshu jumped off the sofa and was about to get it. Pudding continued. I see that you have an ice cream machine in your kitchen. Can you make one for me? It's good, but I don't know how to use that machine. Auntie and Mommy usually use it a lot. Then help me make the milk and vanilla first. Stir it for a while, and then let Annie Xiaowei make it for us, okay? No problem. I'll go now. Thank you for your hard work. Pudding smiled slightly. Wei Yinshu suddenly felt motivated to do anything. He rushed into the kitchen hot-bloodedly. At this time, Jiang Xiaowei walked out of the bathroom. Annie Xiaowei, please have a seat. Let's talk about my daddy and mommy. It's okay, I was just asking. Don't take it as a burden. Jiang Xiaowei walked over with a smile while drying her hair. It's okay. I didn't really care about it. Yinshu was just worried that I would be sad, so he took it too seriously. So you sent him away so that you could talk to me alone? Jiang Xiaowei glanced at her silly child who was busy in the kitchen and guessed with a smile. Yeah. Pudding nodded heavily. Then tell Annie. I didn't take it seriously at first and didn't ask what happened to your mommy. But with all the commotion, I'm a little worried. Jiang Xiaowei and Huamin weren't friends who messaged each other on WeChat every day, but they were still very close. Because of their busy jobs, sometimes they wouldn't see each other for 10 days or half a month. However, it didn't mean that they didn't care about each other. Chapter 2560. The truth is, I don't really understand what happened, Pudding said calmly. Jiang Xiaowei didn't know what to say. But I don't think it's like what the media said. I know my daddy, he really loves my mommy. He won't divorce her. Of course. I think so too. Jiang Xiaowei nodded. I think they seem to have something that they can't talk about. It's like this. Something that they can't talk about? What could it be? What could make them like this? Jiang Xiaowei was also suspicious. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm still not as smart as daddy and mommy. I'm still a kid, and they won't tell me everything, but I don't think they'll have any problems. Maybe this is just a necessary transition. So Annie Xiaowei, you don't have to worry. It's best if you don't ask mommy. If she really has something on her mind, you don't have to ask. She'll definitely tell you. After all, she's only had you and Annie Lingling as her best friends for more than 20 years. Smart girl, that's what I thought too. That's why. I didn't ask her anything even after such a big commotion. I just happened to see you today, so I asked her, yeah, that's about it. When it's over, I think my mommy will explain it to everyone. As for now, I won't ask anything. I'll just wait for the result. You and Little Bean are completely different, Jiang Xiaowei exclaimed. At the same time, she gave Pudding 32 likes in her heart. Little Bean was only 3 years old, but she could stay calm in the face of danger. She could even analyze things calmly. This kid's IQ was unbelievable. If Yin Shu could marry Pudding in the future, he would be so lucky. Of course they're different. In fact, my little sister isn't stupid. She's just lazy. She doesn't want to do anything, think about it, or analyze it. She's always relying on me, mommy, and daddy. Otherwise, when she's alone, she's very smart. That's for sure. The Dragon King's son can float. Ha! Your daddy and mommy have such strong genes. How can they give birth to an idiot? You and Little Bean. Everyone says that you don't need to go to kindergarten. I don't think the kindergarten teachers are as good as you. They can't teach you. My mommy thinks so too, so the two of us have always been left behind. Ha! If you're left behind children, then you must be the richest left behind children in the country. Pudding, I heard that you also trade stocks? Yes, I played with it for a while. How is it? I made a small profit. Pudding said humbly. I want to know, how much is your so-called small profit? Is it convenient for you to tell me? Jiang Xiaowei was very interested in her future daughter-in-law. Not much, just tens of millions. Ugh. Jiang Xiaowei almost spat out a mouthful of tea. Not much, tens of millions. Pudding, is it really okay for you to do this? Mommy, what are you gossiping about? Didn't I tell you not to ask about that? Wei Yinshu came out of the kitchen and saw his mommy chatting with Pudding. He was so scared that he immediately pulled his mommy away, afraid that she would make Pudding unhappy. You little brat, you're the classic example of forgetting your mommy when you have a wife. Do you think it's easy for me to raise you? Jiang Xiaowei teased her son. Chapter 2561. Ms. Jiang Xiaowei, you've only raised me for 4 years. Don't make it sound so hard, okay? Jiang Xiaowei was speechless. Ha! Pudding laughed out loud, which was rare. Wei Yunshu, the aloof Mr. Perfect, insulted his mother in front of his future wife. What a joke. Pudding had a great dinner at the Wei family's house. When they went back, Jiang Xiaowei drove them home. After chatting with Min for a while, they left. Jiang Xiaowei didn't mention a word about the news, which made Min less worried. Oh, someone's finally back? You didn't stay at your mother-in-law's house? Little Bean stretched her neck and teased her sister. Do you think I'm as stupid as you? Why would I stay? Pudding said proudly. So, what did your mother-in-law cook for you? Little Bean asked. Fresh seafood. What do you think? I'm so jealous. We're sisters, and you didn't pack anything for me when you went out to eat? I waited for you for so long for nothing. With your figure, you should lose some weight. Don't just eat. Otherwise, even Gao Buiyuan won't want you. You're so mean. Little Bean puffed up her cheeks in anger. Pudding, how was it? Was Annie Xiaowei's house fun? Min asked with a smile. He seemed to want to please his daughter. After all, her mother did sneak back to her mother's house and left her daughter at home. It was fun. Are you full? Do you want some fruit or something? Mommy bought you some fresh strawberries and lychees. Min continued to please. Mommy, just say what you want to say. You don't have to play tricks with me. Min was speechless. Ha ha ha, sis, you're so fierce. You even dare to talk back to Mommy. Don't call yourself Qin Zhao Zhao anymore. Just call yourself Qin Zhao Zhao. Oh, I just wanted to ask if Annie Xiaowei and the others asked you anything like the things they said on the news. Mian said vaguely. Mommy, are you talking about the news about you and Daddy getting a divorce? Yeah. Min knew that his daughter was smart and couldn't hide anything from her, so he had to admit it. They didn't ask, and they didn't say anything. Oh, that's good. Mian let out a sigh of relief. So, Mommy, are you really going to divorce Daddy? Pudding asked. Before Min could say anything, Little Bean held onto Min's hand with a sad face. Mommy, don't divorce. If we get a divorce, what will happen to us? If we follow you, we'll have to leave Daddy. If we follow Daddy, we'll have to leave you. If one of us follows Daddy and the other follows Mommy, we'll be separated. Can't we just have fun? Why would we get a divorce? Little Bean's words almost made Mian laugh out loud. This little girl always had a wild imagination and was always full of ideas. No, Mommy and Daddy won't get a divorce. The media just made it up. Don't believe what's on TV, okay? Min patted his daughter's heads and comforted them. Mommy, will you stay at home today? Little Bean hugged her mommy's leg tightly and looked up pitifully. Of course. Mommy won't leave. Mommy was too impulsive yesterday. Min looked at his daughters with heartache. Just then, the living room door opened and Qin Shu came back. Chapter 2562. Daddy, you're back. Look, Mommy's back. Little Bean made a peace sign with her hands, looking very happy. The moment Qin Shu saw Min, his eyes were as gentle as water, but they quickly turned cold. You're back. He pretended to be cold. Yeah. Min nodded. Pudding, take your sister upstairs. Your Mommy and I need to talk in private. Okay. Pudding was very obedient and turned to go upstairs. When Little Bean went upstairs, she didn't forget to turn around and remind them, don't fight, or I won't love you anymore. After the twins went upstairs, Qin Shu glanced at Min. You saw the news? He asked. How could I not see such a big commotion? Min asked back. Then what did you mean by that sentence on Weibo? Whatever you think it means what it means. You misunderstood. Zhang Manlin and I did meet, but it wasn't an appointment. It was a chance encounter. Qin Shu explained without sincerity. I'm sorry, life isn't a novel. I don't believe in chance encounters. So you don't believe me no matter what? Qin Shu frowned slightly. You don't believe me either, right? That night when you saw Lu Zhe bring me dinner, your face was also very ugly. Why can't it be my turn now? Min provoked. So, Mian, are you trying to get back at me? Not really, but don't think that you're right and others are wrong, Min said vaguely. Just like that, the husband and wife exchanged sarcastic remarks one after another. At the kitchen door, a young maid was brushing her ears and listening. Kaiwei, what are you doing? What are you listening to? Another maid asked as she wiped the kitchen equipment. Shh, don't quarrel. Sir, and Madam seemed to be quarreling again. I've been working here for almost a year. Even though Mr. Chin doesn't like to talk, he loves Mrs. Chin a lot. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's always fighting with Mrs. Chin. It's so annoying. Even Little Bean and Pudding are angry with him. I really don't understand these rich people. They have so much money and have no worries. Why are they still fighting? They don't even know how to live a good life, another maid said. Don't talk. Let me hear what they are saying. I say, Caillou, you've only been here for less than 3 months. You haven't passed the probation period yet. Let me tell you, South Hill Manor is very strict here. Uncle Lee doesn't like us, the servants, to meddle in the private affairs of the masters. In the past, there was a big sister who was very talkative and exposed some things about our masters to the media. As a result, she was fired by Uncle Lee. I know. I'm just curious to see how rich people quarrel. I don't mean anything else. The maid named Caillou said in a low voice. Then, like a thief, he leaned against the crack of the door and watched the conversation between Chin Chu and Huamin. Mian, is it fun for the two of us to be like this? It's not fun, but what else can we do? Huamin crossed his arms in front of his chest. Forget it. I'm not going to talk about this with you. I'm tired. I'm going upstairs. After speaking, Chin Chu loosened his tie rudely and walked upstairs. Hey, stop. I'm not done yet, Huamin said as he followed him upstairs. Only then did the maid named Caillou slowly close the kitchen door. After Chin Chu went upstairs, he went straight into the study. Huamin followed behind him. However, as soon as she entered the room, before she could even stand still, Mr. Chin pressed her against the wall. Then, before she could say anything, he kissed her. Chapter 2563. Huamin hadn't been this close to Mr. Chin in days. Therefore, she shyly reached out her hands and tightly hugged Mr. Chin's waist. She knew that they were able to do this in the study because there was an anti-tracking bug in the study, so Huasi Qian wouldn't be able to hear it. After a long kiss, Mr. Chin seemed to want more. She didn't know if it was because he was in a daze or because he couldn't control himself. A pair of warm hands slid down her body. Honey, you don't want to? Chin Chu's voice was a little hoarse. She could tell from his voice that the self-control he was so proud of was about to disappear. No, Huamin was a little shy. Don't worry, no one in the study will know. Chin Chu thought she was worried about the bug. That's not the reason. Huamin stuttered. Then what is it? I'm afraid that all of our acting will go to waste. Although the bug won't leak, there are spies in the house. I'm afraid that they'll hear us, Huamin stuttered. Then can you not scream so loudly? Chin Chu teased her on purpose. You? Mr. Chin, don't you think you're being too shameless? Do you want me to mute the phone? Too bad I'm not a cell phone. Huamin pouted in dissatisfaction. Seeing his wife like this, Chin Chu hugged her lovingly. Maybe it was because she was too light, but when Chin Chu lifted her up, her entire weight was on Chin Chu. Honey, don't hold it in. Huamin thought Chin Chu couldn't hold it in anymore. Don't worry, I won't do it. I just want to hug you. I miss you so much. After saying that, Chin Chu put his chin on Huamin's shoulder and greedily sniffed the unique fragrance of her body. During this period of time, the two of them were really tortured. The two people who were originally as loving as before now had to pretend to be cold and quarrel from time to time and make sarcastic remarks. It was as torturous as it could get. However, they all knew that this was a necessary process. If they didn't do this, perhaps Wasichian would beat them to it and do something even more extreme. Huamin, give me a little more time, it won't be long. Feeling guilty, Chin Chu rubbed the tip of his nose against Huamin's fragrant cheek. I know, I have a premonition this time, Chin Chu said. What premonition? Huamin was slightly startled. I think that this is Huasiqian's last struggle. This time, whether it's him or us, we're all going to give it our all. If one of us is scared, we'll lose everything. Will you be scared? Huamin asked with a smile. What do you think? Mr. Chin made an extremely provocative gesture. He reached out his finger and lifted Huamin's chin. I think my Mr. Chin won't be scared. Even if the sky falls, you'll hold it up for us. You're such a strong person. For me and our daughters, You're already risking your life to fight. Humin sighed slightly. You know me the best, but I'm not as good as you say. I haven't done enough for you. Compared to you, I'm still a lot worse. Qin Shu said with a bit of guilt. Humin knew that in Qin Shu's heart, Qin Shu wasn't by her side when she was pregnant and gave birth to the twins. This had become a knot in his heart. Every time he thought about it, he felt ashamed. Honey, yeah? Qin Shu looked up at Humin. Don't be sad. When we have a second baby, you'll be able to make it up to me, right? Humin pursed his lips and smiled. So, honey, you're pregnant? Perhaps Qin Shu was too sensitive. He felt that Humin deliberately brought up this topic today. Was there a hidden meaning? Chapter 2564. Nope, why do you ask? I just think it's weird. Hey, don't be weird. Okay, put me down. If someone sees us here for so long, they'll be suspicious. Qin Shu slowly put Humin down. Should we pretend to quarrel again? No need. Qin Shu really didn't want to fight with her anymore, even if it was just for show. Then I'll go out first. Okay. At the door, Humin suddenly turned around. When you see Zhang Manlin, remember to keep your distance. Honey, are you jealous? Qin Shu looked at her, amused. Of course, if I find out about those intimate photos, I'll break your legs. I'm so scared. Qin Shu looked at her with a half smile. Okay, go to your work and rest early. Are you sleeping in the study tonight? Humin asked. Qin Shu nodded. When Humin came out of the study, he saw the maid named Caillou wiping the handrail on the second floor with a rag. She had her head down and looked very serious. Humin's face immediately turned cold. When he walked past her, he deliberately muttered, I can't live like this. If it weren't for the two kids, I wouldn't have to endure so much. I'm so angry. Caillou listened carefully and memorized it in her heart. In the master bedroom, in the bathroom, Humin held the pregnancy test kit and suppressed her surprise. She knew it was going to be like this, but she almost let it slip in the study. If Mr. Qin knew she was pregnant, he wouldn't be able to bear it. He definitely wouldn't have the heart to continue with the plan. When that time came, everything he had done before would have been in vain. He would protect her like a panda. She didn't want that. She was never a flower in a greenhouse and didn't need to hide behind Mr. Qin. She wanted to stand by his side and face all the storms with him. No matter how difficult it was, she wouldn't be afraid. Husband and wife. Since they were married, they would stay together for the rest of their lives. They would face all the glory, splendor, wealth, and poverty together. Huomin's hand that was holding the pregnancy test was shaking slightly. Her other hand gently touched her lower abdomen. There was another little life here. It was so magical. The little brother or sister that Pudding and Little Bean had been looking forward to was really here this time. Counting the days, it should have happened after the two of them slept together more than a month ago. After her mother had reminded her that day, she had taken note of it in her heart, but she did not let anyone know. The fewer people who knew about the current situation, the better. She didn't even tell Mr. Qin. She wanted to wait until Hui Qian was dead. Let's announce this news in front of the whole family. Baby, you have to protect Mommy. Let Mommy and Daddy get rid of those bad people who want to separate us. Our family will never be separated again. Huomin gently touched her lower abdomen and said to the little life that was just a month old, because of the early pregnancy, there might be some reactions. Therefore, Huomin decided to be extra careful with her diet so that no one would be suspicious. Huomin was the only one who slept in a master bedroom because she pretended to be in a Cold War with Qin Shu. Late at night, she was sleeping soundly when she seemed to hear a strange sound. She wanted to open her eyes, but she couldn't. She didn't know if it was a dream or reality. Mian, soon, very soon, we will be able to leave this place. Let's start over and forget the past, okay? Beside the bed, a man in a black coat held her wrist and said word by word. Chapter 2565. Who is it? Huomin used all the strength in her body to sit up in bed. When she opened her eyes, she found that the bedroom was empty. Huff, huff. Huomin panted heavily, her heart racing. She calmed down, walked to the floor, and took a big gulp of water. Why was she having this dream again? She felt like there was someone else at home, but she couldn't see that person's face clearly. It was an inexplicable fear, as if the fear in her heart was infinitely magnified. Huamin sat on the windowsill, looked out the window, and calmed down a lot. The night view at South Hill Manor was beautiful. Qin Chu designed this place for her and the children. Therefore, it was built like a children's playground. At night, neon lights flashed, and it was very romantic. Especially that night, when the Ferris wheel emitted a 7-colored light, it made people feel relaxed to the extreme. Huamin really wanted to run to the study to find Qin Chu, but she hesitated when she thought of the spy in the house. Huasiqian spy. She wanted to find a cigarette, but she thought of the new life in her stomach, so in the end, she suppressed the urge. In the end, she took out her phone and played a song. Yang Zhongwei and Zhang Baikan's voices slowly sounded. The night is getting colder. The flowers fall to the ground and turn into frost. You look from afar, exhausting all the twilight. If you don't think, you won't forget. Huamin didn't sleep well that night. When she woke up in the morning, she had dark circles under her eyes. It was the weekend, so Huamin could get up a little late. When she went downstairs, it was already 7:30 a.m. The twins were still asleep, but her in-laws were already in the living room. Mian, you're awake? Mama Qin asked. Yeah. Do you have a day off today? Yes. The kitchen heated up breakfast for you. Eat it while it's hot. Thank you, Mom. Huamin looked at her mother-in-law gratefully. I'll bring it out for you. No need, no need. I'll do it myself. Please take a rest. Huamin rushed into the kitchen. However, her mother-in-law still followed them in. Seeing that there was no one in the kitchen, Mama Qin tugged on Huamin's sleeve. Mian, Mother, what's wrong? Did you quarrel with Chu again? Mama Qin looked at her daughter-in-law worriedly. We just had an argument. It's not an argument. Mom, don't worry. Your dad and I have been feeling that there's something wrong with the two of you. Last night, you were arguing in the study, and all the servants at home heard it. Uncle Li and your dad talked about it when they were playing chess. Later that night, your dad brought a teapot to the study to talk to Chu. After all, he's our kid, so we know a little about him. Huamin lowered his head and poured milk. He listened to his mother-in-law's words and didn't interrupt. Chu's been under a lot of pressure at work recently. Plus, you know that he's always been a quiet person and doesn't like to talk much. Those unscrupulous media outlets want to break up families, but what they say might not be true. I'm not trying to clear my name, but I really hope that you can understand Chu. I know, Mom. I'm not an insensible person. But in other words, even though he's my son, I won't forgive him if he does something wrong. Last night, when your dad talked to him, he told him that if he messes around outside and causes trouble, GK will be handed over to you. Then, we'll take Little Bean and Pudding with us, and he can go wherever he wants. As long as I'm alive, I won't let you guys get a divorce. Mama Qin expressed her determination. Chapter 2566. To be honest, Huamin's heart was warmed by his mother-in-law's attitude. His parents-in-law were old, and they weren't scheming, so they didn't know that the couple was acting. Therefore, it was inevitable that they would be worried. No matter how much his mother-in-law misunderstood him in the past, she didn't mention the past anymore. She was a completely different person from before. Mom, thank you and Dad. Huamin was touched. Don't mention it. This is what we should do. Although Chu is our biological son, we won't spoil him or let him do whatever he wants. Look at that kid from the Shun family. He used to be a good kid, but after he got involved with that girl, Hui Yin, he caused so much trouble. We won't allow something like this to happen to our family. Your father still has some authority in Chu's heart, so of course he has to take us into consideration. Your father said, Mian, you shouldered so much pressure all those years and gave birth to 2 little princesses for the Qin family. That's a huge favor to the Qin family. We won't do anything to hurt you for the rest of our lives. Okay, I understand. Huamin bit her lip. If the timing wasn't right, she really wanted to tell her mother-in-law that she was pregnant with a second child. She wondered how happy her parents-in-law would be when they heard about it. Not to mention the gender of the baby, just the addition of a new life was a new expectation for this family. After breakfast, Huamin helped the twins tidy up their wardrobes. Then, she took her daughters out to play. Mommy, why are you in such a good mood today? Little Bean asked from the back seat. Because there wasn't enough space in the sports car, Huamin drove an Audi A8L from the garage. It was black and very classy, low-key, and luxurious. The twins wore red checkered capes, black skirts, and red boots. They look very cute. Mommy is off today. I haven't taken you out in a long time. So, Mommy, where are we going now? Little Bean asked as she played a game on her tablet. What do you two have in mind? Huamin asked as he drove. Shall we go to Imperial Star? Little Bean suggested excitedly. Then why don't you just say that you're going to find Uncle Sue? Huamin couldn't help laughing. Yeah, handsome Sue has been so busy lately that he doesn't even pay attention to us. He doesn't even have time to pick us up. I wonder if he's hitting on girls. Little Bean rested her chin on her hands and thought. Ha, don't talk nonsense. Huamin laughed. From what I know about handsome Sue, he won't, Pudding replied calmly. Why? I'm not telling you, pig brain. Think about it yourself. Pudding glanced at her sister. Mommy, look at big sis. She's calling him a pig brain again, Little Bean complained. Can't you be a little smarter? Huamin was amused. Then you're to blame. Why didn't you make me smarter when you gave birth to me? So you want to blame me? Huamin felt wronged. Okay, let's stop fooling around. Mommy, let's go to Imperial Star, okay? I miss handsome Sue, Little Bean said. Do you miss handsome Sue? Or do you want to trick him into taking you to eat Haagen-Dazs? Huamin asked. Ha ha, you guessed it. Mommy, you're so smart. Little Bean laughed evilly. Huamin, Mommy, ignore the foodie. Let's go to Nantian Hot Springs, Pudding said. No, I want to go to Imperial Star. I don't want to go to the hot springs. Obviously, the two sisters were having an argument. At this moment, Huamin couldn't help either of them. So, she had an idea and said, You two rock, paper, scissors. Let's decide the winner in one round. Chapter 2567. Pudding, good idea. Little Bean, come on, I'm not scared of you. Pudding, Chi Moo Moo, listen carefully. Mommy said that the winner will be decided in one round. If you lose, don't tell me that it's a best of 3. Little Bean, don't worry, I'm a man of my word. Pudding, the problem is you've never been a man of honor. How can I trust you? Little Bean, do you still want to play? Can you stop wasting time? 3, Tune, rock, paper, scissors, the sisters said in unison. Pudding said paper, while Little Bean said rock. You lost, Mommy. Nantian Hot Springs, thank you. Pudding sat back down and continued playing. Mommy, why do I always lose? Little Bean said with a sad face. It's your fault for always playing rock. Can't you change it? Huamin looked at Little Bean through the rearview mirror. I didn't know Pudding was so crazy. She's been playing paper for thousands of years. I thought she'd change it this time. Little Bean pouted. So, your sister knew what you were thinking. That's why she played paper again, Huamin explained. Okay. We're all smart people. I can't win against you. I admit defeat. Little Bean crossed her arms and looked out the car window angrily. Do you really want to see Uncle Sue that much? Huamin felt bad for his daughter. Of course. I'm not as heartless as my sister. I've been with Wei Yunshu recently, so I don't love handsome Sue anymore, Little Bean said deliberately. Stop it. I don't want to go to Imperial Star because I don't want to disturb handsome Sue at work. It's not that I don't miss him. The two of them argued back and forth, giving Huamian a headache. In the end, she listened to her eldest daughter and drove to Nantian Hot Springs. Nantian Hot Springs was developed by the Wei family. Jiang Xiaowei and Wei Yunshu also liked to come here. When Huamin arrived, she sent Jiang Xiaowei a WeChat message. Unfortunately, she was working overtime today, and Wei Yunshu went to his grandmother's house, so she didn't come. As for Zhu Lingling's family of 3, it was said that Gao Ran had gone to the Maldives on annual leave. Huamin and her 2 daughters changed into swimsuits and went down to soak in a rose bath. Huamin stood up again and walked to the service center. He wanted to ask the service staff to adjust the temperature of the water. However, he did not expect to meet an acquaintance here. Dr. Huan, you. Huamin was surprised to see Jiang Yi. If she remembered correctly, he had already returned to the capital. She hadn't seen him for a long time after M.O. Schwerer's death. What a coincidence, you're here too. Jiang Yi was wearing a white bathrobe with a can of Coke in his hand. Yes, my daughters like it. It's the weekend, so I brought them here to play. Your husband didn't come? Jiang Yi asked with a smile. He's working overtime today, so he went to work. Is he really working overtime? There's been a lot of news about you guys recently. Even I heard about it in the capital. Jiang Yi said, that's what the news is all about. You're in the industry, so you should know that they love to create topics that are half true and half false. Huamin said perfunctorily. I haven't seen you in a while. Let's have a drink, Jiang Yi invited. I can't drink alcohol. Huamin immediately refused. Not alcohol, Mike, the Dr. Hua. I'm talking about tea. I also have something to ask you. Huamin hesitated for a moment and then nodded. Okay. Not far away, someone was secretly taking photos with a camera. Huamin had already noticed the person in the corner, or else he wouldn't have agreed to have tea with Jiang Yi. Hua Xiqian, I'll let you see whatever you want to see. Chapter 2568. Little Bean sis, look. Look. Pudding what? Little Bean, something's happening. Pudding, what's happening? Little Bean, a man wants to hit on our mom? Pudding, Little Bean, seriously, I'm not joking. Look over there. Hearing her sister's words, Pudding turned her head and looked over. Her face was expressionless. Little Bean, see? Pudding, as the vice director of Southside, Mommy must know a lot of people. With her personality, she wouldn't hit on strangers. He's probably a friend. Little Bean, but didn't you see the perverted look in that man's eyes when he saw Mommy? Pudding, no. Little Bean, humph, then you're stupid. Little Bean secretly took out her phone from the plastic phone case and took a photo. What? You want to send it to Daddy? Don't you think they're fighting enough? Pudding glanced at her sister. Am I that stupid? I don't dare to send it to Daddy. I'm sending it to Handsome Sue. Ha! I promise he'll come to rescue you in less than half an hour. Then, Little Bean sent the photo to Suyu. In the photo, Huamin and Jiang Yi were both side profiles. Handsome Sue, someone wants to hit on my mom. Come to help. Nantion Hot Springs. Little Bean thought that was enough. At the headquarters of Imperial Star, Suyu had just finished a meeting. Before he walked back to his office, he received a WeChat message from Little Bean. Ahem. He coughed violently when he saw the message. President Sue, what's wrong? Do you have anything else to do in the afternoon? There's a planning conference in the afternoon that requires your final decision. Also, you're going to have dinner with President Liu of Fooding. Oh, postpone it for me. Are you going out? Yeah, I'm going out for a bit. So you didn't even go back to his office. Instead, he stuffed the documents into Anne's hands and left. He got into his black Lamborghini and drove straight to Nantion Hot Springs. At the hot springs, Jiang Yi ordered a pot of Longjing tea and poured a cup for Huamin. Thank you. You don't look good lately, Jiang Yi said. Huamin was about to speak when he felt nauseous. She covered her mouth. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Jiang Yi asked nervously. I'm fine. I just caught a cold in my stomach recently. I'm not feeling well. Huamin waved his hand. Aren't you a doctor yourself? No, you're the vice director of the hospital now. Why can't you fix such a small problem? Jiang Yi laughed. What do you know? We're doctors, so we know that antibiotics can't be taken casually. If you eat too much, you'll develop resistance, and the bacteria will mutate easily. Okay. Whatever you say is right. Didn't you return to the capital? Why are you back? Huamin had been very cautious recently. Whenever a suspicious person appeared around her, she would wonder if they were sent by Hua Xiqian. It was as if every bush and tree was an enemy. I got a movie recently, and one of the producers is Imperial Star. The director and I came here to take a look. Imperial Star also hired an actress. You should know her. She's Ling Xian, the popular actress. Oh, I know her. Huamin heard that it was a movie that Jiang Yi and Cici's sister were working on together. How have you been? Jiang Yi asked. Didn't you see everything? Huamin lowered his head and sipped his tea. So, you've really been involved with a third party? Was it an imposter who looked like you? Jiang Yi asked with a half-smile. Chapter 2569. Imitations that look alike. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he heard this comment. That's what I think. You two are like a seller and a seller on a show. Huh. For the first time, Huamin was amused by Jiang Ye's humor. In the past, she used to think that this man was always lecherous, so she had some resistance and disgust towards him. After interacting with him for a while, Huamin realized that Jiang Yi wasn't a bad person. Sometimes, he even had a little humor in his words. This is the first time I've seen you smile so brightly at me. I'm really flattered. Jiang Yi was in a good mood. Mr. Jiang, don't joke around. You're such a big shot with countless fans. I'm just a normal person. Come on, don't be so humble. If you were a normal person, how could we live? A normal person who drives a Porsche and lives in South Hill Manor? Huamin, okay, I'll stop teasing you. I haven't seen you in so long. It's great to see you here. Otherwise, if I went to Southside to look for you, you probably wouldn't be so nice to me. Say, are all people this weird? Huamin looked at Jiang Yi and asked, You mean? He didn't seem to understand what Huamin meant. It's just that what you can't have is always the best. Where did you get all these sentiments from? Jiang Yi smiled faintly. Isn't there a popular TV series called 3 Lives, 3 Generations, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms? You like to watch this kind of drama? This is for little girls, okay? Jiang Yi was also shocked. His goddess also liked to watch dramas. Why can't I? I'm a girl too. Even though I'm old, I still have the heart of a young girl, okay? I'm not an alien. Huamin rolled his eyes at Jiang Yi. So, you like Yi Huajun too? Jiang Yi asked tentatively. No, I like Li Jing. Jiang Yi, why are you looking at me like that? Young lady, your taste is really unique. Jiang Yi smiled. Well, to each his own. I was just thinking that Li Jing never got together with Bai Qian, so he missed her his whole life. If he had married Bai Qian, then he would have missed Empyrean Maiden for the rest of his life. Are all men like this? What you can't have is always the best. I really don't know how to answer your question. After all, I'm standing from a man's point of view. My thoughts can't represent all men, but I feel that from my point of view, it's not like that. If it's something you like, you'll cherish it regardless of whether you get it or not. If it's something you don't like in the first place, then you might turn a blind eye to it, even if you have it for the rest of your life. Let me put it this way. When you're shopping, you like a dress that costs tens of thousands, but you can't afford it, so you settle for a cheaper one that costs only a few hundred. After you get home, you don't like it in the first place, so you don't like to wear it. In fact, you haven't worn it even once. That makes sense. Huamin nodded. After all, Jiang Yi was much older than him, so he had more experience in life. Oh, right. What did you want to ask me about? Huamian suddenly remembered that Jiang Yi had something to ask her when he saw her. It's like this. I recently found an important clue. Before Jiang Yi could finish, he heard a voice from behind him. Jiang Yi, are you close to Dr. Hua? Su Yu stood behind Huamin, his face cold and hostile as he looked at Jiang Yi. Chapter 2570. Huamin and Jiang Yi turned around at the same time and saw Su Yu not far behind them. Maybe it was because he came out in a hurry, but Su Yu was still wearing a business suit. It was black and casual, and he looked very energetic. Maybe it was because he just got a haircut, but he looked very refreshed. Wow, handsome Su is here. Just in time. Not far away, Little Bean was excited. Hearing that Su Yu was here, Little Bean stopped playing with her phone and looked over. Sure enough, handsome Su's tall and handsome figure stunned the entire Nantian Hot Springs. The general manager was so shocked that he came out to greet him. Although it was the Wei family's business, Su Yu had only been here once during the opening ceremony. He usually didn't have time to come, but this time, the young master's arrival really shocked everyone. The waitresses and girls all wanted to put on more makeup, hoping to attract Su Yu's attention. But to their surprise, Su Yu came in a hurry. He didn't come to the hot springs, but went straight to the lounge and found Huamin and Jiang Yi. Then he attacked. Oh, President Su, what a coincidence. You're here too? Seeing Su Yu, Jiang Yi smiled and immediately stood up. Su Yu didn't stand on ceremony. He pulled a chair and sat between Jiang Yi and Huamin. It felt like he was intruding. Why are you here? Aren't you at work? Huamin was surprised to see Su Yu. Then, she turned around and looked at her daughters behind her. She immediately understood what was going on. I'm at work. I'm not busy, so I came to see. You're not busy? Who are you trying to fool? Huamin looked helplessly at Lord Su, who was lying through his teeth. Jiangyi, are you close to Huamin? Yeah, I know Dr. Hua from before. We're friends. Jiangyi smiled. Really? But how come I've never heard Mian mention you? I know very well what kind of person you are in the industry. Even if it's a female artist under our company, I won't interfere with you. But I'm warning you, don't have any ideas about my friend. So you really didn't give him any face and directly gave him a heavy warning. President Su, you must have misunderstood. I might have been delusional in the past, but now, forget it. I know myself very well. Dr. Hua is not someone I can reach. Even you can't reach him, let alone a small fry like me. Jiang Ye's words were especially harsh, and Su Yu wasn't happy to hear them. Don't talk to us about these useless things. As an actor, you should either act well or live a low-key life. Don't make trouble for yourself. Yes, then you can leave first. I have something to talk to Mian about, and it's not convenient for you to be here. So you bluntly asked him to leave. Jiang Yi still had something to say to Huamin, so he was a bit reluctant to leave. Oh, then you can leave first. We'll talk another day. Huamin gave him a way out. Okay, then I'll leave first. I don't want to waste your time. Jiang Yi stood up helplessly. It wasn't easy for him to have a chance to talk to Huamin alone, but it was ruined by Su Yu. What a pity. After Jiang Yi left, Huamin picked up the teacup on the side and lowered his head to drink tea. Don't talk to Jiang Yi from now on. He doesn't have a good reputation in the industry. He likes to trick innocent girls like you. Su Yu said with a straight face. Huamin laughed out loud. You're still laughing? I was so anxious. Dr. Hua, can you be more serious? Chapter 2571. Lord Su, I'm not an innocent girl. Don't think too highly of me. Still, you can't get too close to Jiang Yi, okay? He's not a good guy, Su Yu warned with a serious face. I know. What do you know? If you knew, why would you sit down and chat with him over tea? Seriously, so, you came in such a timely manner. I'm guessing my little bean must have tipped him off, right? So you didn't know what to say. You wanted to make up a story, but Huamian wasn't going to believe him. She was too smart. That's not the point. The point is, don't be so stupid that you don't even know you've been tricked. Who tricked me? Huamin laughed. Have you been in contact with Hua Yinyan lately? Su Yu deliberately changed the topic. Not really. We barely talk on WeChat. Yeah. What's wrong? Why did you bring her up all of a sudden? Huamin was puzzled. It's best if we don't contact each other. Did you find out something? Huamin thought Su Yu wouldn't say something like this for no reason. Last time, Shen Mingxi and I drank and talked about some things. I was so angry that I beat him up. Then, our friendship capsized. Huh? You and young Master Shen broke up? Huamin was surprised. Yeah. Why? Because of you. Because of me? What does that have to do with me? I'm not going to take the blame. Huamin held his teacup and looked innocent. Shen Mingxi said that he and Hua Yinyan came to you and begged you to see Hua Xiqian. Oh, that thing. Huamian's expression turned unnatural when she heard this. You must be very upset, right? After all, you dislike Hua Xiqian so much, Su Yu asked. It's true that I don't like Hua Xiqian, but I'm not happy about what they did. Hua Yinyan, right? How should I put it? I told her not to mess with Hua Xiqian because she's no match for him. But she sighed. Huamin sighed slightly and didn't continue. However, with Su Yu's intelligence and wisdom, he could roughly guess what she was trying to say. In the end, Hua Yinyan thought that she had Shen Mingxi's backing, so she recklessly went to seek revenge. In the end, she shot herself in the foot, right? Okay, Huamin nodded. The most infuriating thing is that you have to clean up this mess for them. So Yu was extremely angry. After all, she saved my daughters. Don't I owe her a favor? Ha! Huamin smiled helplessly. Bullshit. Hua Yinyan, why didn't she think about who kidnapped the twins? Wasn't it Hua Si? She said that she wanted to help you and your daughters. But in reality, she knew that if anything happened to the twins, Qin Chu and I would have killed Hua Si and his entire family. Killing him 100 times wouldn't have been enough to appease our hatred. Forget it, Lord Su. Let's not talk about what happened in the past. Okay, from now on, don't worry about Huoyinyan. That woman doesn't deserve your help, Suyu advised Huamin. Lord Su, you overestimate me. Huoyinyan doesn't need my help now. She has young Master Shun as her backing. Huamin smiled helplessly. I have a bad feeling, Suyu said slowly. What feeling? Huamin looked at him in confusion. Chapter 2572. I have a feeling that if Shun Mingxi continues to hang out with Hua Yinyan like this, he'll die in her hands sooner or later. I don't think so. Of course not. Haven't you heard of the term femme fatale? Ever since Shun Mingxi started hanging out with her, he's been having bad luck. He's even working with Hua Xiqian. With how narrow-minded he is, Hua Xiqian can tell what they're up to. He wanted to set her up, but now he's trapped by her. They're all adults. They should be able to deal with this themselves. Huamin didn't want to interfere with those who didn't want to do it. Huh? Why are you here alone? Where's Pudding and Little Bean? Suyu looked around. They're soaking in the hot spring over there. Huamin pointed, and Suyu immediately walked over to the hot spring. Since they were VIP guests at Nantian Hot Spring, the two girls enjoyed a huge rose bath. When Suyu came, the two of them were very excited. Handsome Su, over here. Little Bean wanted to stand up and wave. Miss Chi Mumu, calm down. You're wearing a swimsuit. Don't expose yourself. Pudding reminded her. I won't. Haha, I'm meaty. Little Bean laughed. That's why I think you shouldn't be called Little Bean. Mommy should give you a nickname, Meaty. Screw you. Little Bean scolded her sister. Suyu walked over, squatted by the hot spring, and rolled up the sleeves of his white shirt. He reached out and patted the heads of the two girls. How was it? Was it fun? It wasn't. I wanted to go to Imperial Star to find you, but my sister didn't agree. She even played rock, paper, scissors with me. Mommy said we should listen to whoever wins. But my sister won, so we came here. So, Handsome Su, don't be nice to my sister. She doesn't love you as much as I do. Little Bean pouted and began to complain to Suyu. Pudding just listened calmly and didn't bother to explain. Huh? Pudding, did you really do that? Suyu deliberately asked Pudding. You have to shake Little Bean's words dry before listening to them. They're too watery, Pudding said calmly. Huh? Suyu was amused by the two kids. Handsome Su, I'm telling you, I'm the one who truly loves you now. You have to treat me well from now on. My sister is too scheming and two-faced. Humph, she's not honest. Little Bean was going all out in order to win his favor. Little Bean, do you dare to repeat what you did just now? Pudding asked. Why wouldn't I dare? Just say it. Which sentence do you want me to repeat? Little Bean raised her chubby little face. When you said you loved Handsome Su very much, Pudding reminded her. That's right. I love Handsome Su the most. None of you miss him as much as I do, Little Bean said proudly. Okay, I've recorded it. I'm going to send it to Gaobui, and Pudding said as she fiddled with her phone. Fuck. Little Bean was dumbfounded. I'm going to tell Mommy that you cursed. Then, Pudding stood up and pretended to call Huamin. Sis, my dearest sister, you're the prettiest, smartest, and most beautiful sister in the world. Please let me go, okay? Let you go for what? Not telling Mommy that you cursed? Not sending Wei Yuan a WeChat message because you confessed to Handsome Su? Little Bean, haha, Little Bean, you and Gaobuyan have been very close recently. Suyu reached out his finger and knocked on Little Bean's head. Handsome Su, you're wrong. My sister went to Annie Xiaowei's house for dinner yesterday. You're asking the wrong person. Little Bean tried to shift the topic to her sister. Chapter 2573. Chin Mumu, do you want to die? Pudding threatened. Aha sis, I love you so much. Can you stop sending Wei Yuan WeChat messages? Pudding came back to her senses and continued to coax her sister. Suyu looked down at his watch. It's almost noon. What do you want to eat? Hawaiian-style pizza, fried chicken, onion rings, Haagen-Dazs, and mango smoothie. Thank you. Pudding didn't forget to turn around and order while bickering with her sister. Girl, do you think I'm a delivery man? Suyu laughed. Handsome Su, I really want to eat. Mommy said those are all fried junk food. She hasn't let me and my sister eat them in a long time. I'm craving them, Pudding begged. Pudding, what about you? What do you want to eat? Anything is fine. Pudding didn't have high standards for food. Then pizza it is, Suyu said. Wow, handsome Sue, you're so great. I love you so much. Don't ask me. I'll ask your mommy first. If she doesn't agree, there's nothing I can do, Suyu said. Pudding, in the end, after getting Huamin's permission, Suyu drove the three of them to a nearby Western restaurant and began their fried chicken journey. On the other hand, Qin Shu had just finished a project in his office when he received a private message on Weibo. Guess who I am? If you get it right, you'll get a reward. Question mark. Qin Shu only replied with a question mark. In fact, there were a lot of private messages from fans, but Qin Shu didn't reply. The problem was that although this account's avatar was cartoon, he could still vaguely see the outline of the avatar. However, he could still vaguely make out the outline. To be honest, when he first saw the comic version of this avatar, he thought it was Mion. She was wearing a baseball cap and looked cute in casual clothes. However, Huamin had her own Weibo account and was officially recognized as the vice director of Southside and the wife of GK's president, Qin Shu. This account wasn't verified and didn't have many fans. Qin Shu immediately knew her identity. Take a guess. There really is a reward. I'm not lying to you. Zhang Manlin. Wow, how'd you guess that? You're amazing, Zhang Manlin said. Your cartoon avatar, Qin Shu said. She looks like me, doesn't she? Zhang Manlin asked excitedly. She looks like my wife, Qin Shu said. Upon hearing Qin Shu's words, Zhang Manlin was a little unhappy, but she didn't continue to pester him. Instead, he changed the topic and said, Since you've guessed it, let me treat you to a meal, okay? When? How is it now? I'm off today. I went to the orphanage in the morning to deliver some stationery to the children. I'm still outside now. You do charity work? How can this be called charity? Charity is for you rich people. I'm just doing things that are within my ability to help people in need. I didn't know you were so caring. Qin Shu praised her. Not really. I don't think it's a big deal. President Qin, I'll treat you to ramen, okay? Ramen. Qin Shu frowned slightly. Don't worry, it's not Aixin's ramen. I don't like that place. I don't know why the vice director likes it so much. I like the halal Lanzhou ramen on Hushi Road. It's really good. They give a lot of beef, and the soup is delicious. Do you want to go? Now? Yeah, I'm already here. If you come, I'll order a bowl for you. If you don't, I'll eat 2 bowls myself, Zhang Manlin said. Chapter 2574. Wait for me. Qin Shu only replied with 3 words before he fell silent. Zhang Manlin was overjoyed. She yelled in the noodle shop, Boss, give me a big bowl of beef noodles. Okay. Ignoring the reporters, Qin Shu drove his black Bentley to Hushi Road. He found Zhang Manlin at a noodle shop called Ziqiao Lanzhou Ramen. You're so fast. Less than 15 minutes. Zhang Manlin was surprised. I took the highway, Qin Shu replied faintly. But I didn't even tell you the name of the noodle shop. How did you find it? It's the only one on Hushi Road. I'm being silly again. Sorry about that, President Qin. Qin Shu didn't say anything. Just then, the boss brought out a bowl of steaming hot noodles and placed it in front of Qin Shu. I order a big bowl for you. It's really good. Do you want to try it? Zhang Manlin blinked her eyes at him. Qin Shu felt that many of Zhang Manlin's small movements were very similar to Huamin's. This included her expression when she saw something fun or delicious. She purposely widened her eyes. Huamin's actions were spontaneous, so it was natural. Zhang Manlin was imitating, so even if she tried hard, it was still a bit stiff. Is it good? Zhang Manlin couldn't wait to ask after Qin Shu ate a mouthful of noodles. It's SOSO, Qin Shu commented. How about compared to Aixin's ramen? Zhang Manlin asked tentatively. I still prefer the taste of Aixin's ramen, Qin Shu said honestly. Actually, you like Aixin's ramen because of our vice director, right? I heard that she loves it too. Yeah, we've eaten at that noodle shop for many years. Looks like it's really good. I have to try it when I have time, Zhang Manlin said as she lowered her head and started eating. Even the way she ate was so similar to Huamin's. Qin Shu suddenly felt a little disgusted. He didn't even want to pretend anymore. Do you know Huasiqian? Qin Chu asked casually. Zhang Manlin shuddered in fear. President Qin? What did you say? She looked up in surprise. Say, do you know Huasiqian? Qin Chu asked as he slowly picked at the noodles in the bowl. Zhang Manlin's face alternated between green and white. It was obvious that she was scared. Huasiqian. Who is he? Since you know your vice dean so well, you should know about Huasiqian. I really don't know. Maybe I didn't notice. He. How could that be? The president of the whole corporation is so rich. As Huan Mian's brother, it doesn't make sense that you don't know him. Qin Chu stared at her face and asked, Oh, the president of the whole corporation. I saw him on TV. I heard that he's quite handsome in person. A lot of nurses at Southside are fans of him, but I don't like that type. I like cold and aloof men. Zhang Manlin bit her lip and looked at Qin Chu, trying to hide her guilt. I see. That's a shame. I thought that since you know Huasiqian, we could talk about him. Talk about what about him? I heard that the vice dean doesn't have a good relationship with him. Yeah. Don't you want to ask why? I'm guessing it's because of the inheritance. I heard that President Hua took all the inheritance and didn't give a cent to the vice dean and Hua Yin. I don't know if that's true or not. Zhang Manlin smiled awkwardly. How about I call him now and ask him to come here and see you? I'm guessing that Huasiqian will be very surprised to see you. Qin Chu sneered. Why? Zhang Manlin was getting more and more nervous. She didn't know what Qin Chu wanted. Chapter 2575. Because he cares about Mian a lot. He'd be surprised if he saw you who looked like Mian. Is that so? Zhang Manlin couldn't take it anymore. Her heart was about to break down. Did he think she wasn't sure why Qin Chu said all this? Was he testing her? Or did he not know anything? What's wrong? You don't look well. Qin Chu asked on purpose. Maybe it's the flu in my stomach. I want to vomit. President Qin, I'm sorry. I need to go back to the hospital to get some medicine. I can't take it anymore. Okay. Then, Zhang Manlin got up in a hurry and was about to leave. Wait, Qin Chu said behind her. Zhang Manlin was so scared that she broke out in cold sweat. She thought Qin Chu had found out, and she was about to be exposed. Huasiqian had trained her for 5 years so that she could be of help at a time like this. If she lost her value, then she was finished. All her previous efforts would be in vain. Not only would she go back to her poor life, but she might also be punished by Huasiqian. Therefore, Zhang Manlin was extremely nervous, and her heart was restless. What's wrong, President Qin? Zhang Manlin came back to her senses with a pale face. She didn't even dare to look Qin Chu in the eye. You forgot to take your bag. Qin Chu pointed at Zhang Manlin's white bag that was on her back. Oh, thank you. Look at my memory. I'm so stupid. Goodbye, President Qin. I'll treat you to noodles another day. Then, Zhang Manlin left in a hurry. Looking at her anxious figure, Qin Chu sneered. You can't sit still anymore? You want to separate us with such poor mental fortitude? Huasiqian, you're dreaming. Inside the Western restaurant, Su Yu and Huamin were eating happily with the kids. They didn't expect Huasiqian to be here too. Moreover, he was with Yin Ruashi. The two of them were talking and laughing as they walked in. Mommy, look, it's that big bad guy. Little Bean secretly tugged on her mommy's sleeve. Huamin and Su Yu also noticed them. At this time, Huasiqian also looked over. He smiled and walked over with Yin Ruashi. What a coincidence, you guys are here too. Huasiqian smiled. Before Huamin could reply, Yin Ruashi glanced at Su Yu and said meaningfully, From afar, I thought it was President Qin's family of 4. I didn't expect it to be President Su. Su Yu glared at them and didn't answer. He continued to dip his fries in ketchup and eat them. Mr. Hua, you don't seem to be welcomed here. So, can you please leave us alone? He put down the phone and glanced at them calmly. Kid, how can you talk to your uncle like that? Yin Ruashi was a little annoyed. Let me correct you. First, he was never my uncle. If you need an uncle, you can take him, Pudding said. You? Yin Ruashi was speechless. Second, I'm not a kid, and I don't know you that well. Woman, don't pretend to be an elder when you talk to us. Yin Ruashi. Third, can't you see we're eating? Is it really polite for you guys to watch? Don't you have basic manners? Why don't you go away? Pudding didn't like Huasiqian, so she didn't have a good impression of Yin Ruashi. Therefore, her words were quite sharp. Sis, I like you. Little Bean gave her a thumbs up. At this time, Huasiqian glanced at Huamin and suddenly said, Mian, I'm getting married. Hearing this, Huamin looked up at Huasiqian in shock. Chapter 2576. Did I hear that right? Huamin was a little confused. So he was also shocked. He looked up at Huasiqian in disbelief. I said, I'm getting married, Huasiqian repeated with a smile. When? Huamin asked. 20 days from now, on Sunday. With Miss Yen? Huamin glanced at Yen Ruashi. She was holding Huasiqian's arm and smiling proudly. Huasiqian didn't answer directly. He just smiled and didn't say anything. What does your marriage have to do with us? Do you want my mommy to spend money on a wedding gift? No way, Little Bean said fiercely. Yes, we won't spend a penny. Pudding stood on the same side as her little sister. Huasiqian wasn't angry. Instead, he laughed. Pudding, you're too stingy. You've been buying shares of the whole corporation and made a lot of money, haven't you? Pudding didn't say anything. She thought to herself, so Huasiqian knew about it. He must be really smart. It's a good thing that you two are getting married. You don't have to ruin other people's lives. Although I don't like you, I still want to congratulate you. So he was in a good mood. Thank you, President Su. You must come and drink with us. Okay, Mian, you guys go ahead and eat. I won't disturb you. Oh, right? The rumors about you two have been spreading like wildfire. Is it true? Huasiqian suddenly asked. Huamin's eyes darkened. He licked the corner of his mouth and didn't answer directly. Big bad guy, mind your own business. Don't worry about other people, Little Bean retorted. Chanqian, let's go. We still have a lot of wedding details to discuss. Why should we waste time here? Yin Ruashi held onto Huasiqian's arm and said coquettishly, Okay. Then, the two of them turned and walked upstairs. Mian, do you think what he said was true? I don't think you're joking about something like this. After all, Huasiqian's wedding is going to cause a sensation in the city. Many media outlets will be reporting about it, Huamin said slowly. But I heard that Huasiqian didn't like Yin Ruashi and always kicked her out. Why do I feel like something is wrong now? Sui was puzzled. Maybe Huasiqian needs Yin Ruashi's father's help. After all, her father is the mayor. That's true. For someone like Huasiqian, everyone around him is just a pawn. Mommy, now that the big bad guy is married, we'll be fine. We won't have to worry about him harassing you anymore, right? That's a good thing. You won't fight with Daddy anymore, right? Little Bean asked nervously. Mommy and Daddy didn't fight to begin with. Huamin smiled and patted Little Bean's head. Then Mommy, don't eat supper with that creepy-looking male doctor at Southside anymore, okay? Daddy will be jealous, Little Bean said. Huamin looked embarrassed. It seemed like the creepy-looking male Dr. Little Bean was talking about was Lu Zhe. You're eating supper with a male doctor? Huamin, you've grown up. So you didn't know what to feel. Ahem. It's a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. Huamin was even more embarrassed. Handsome Su, I want another Haagen-Dazs. Little Bean turned around and looked at Su Yu with puppy eyes. She immediately changed the topic. Su Yu was about to speak when his phone rang. Hello. What? Really? Su Yu was pleasantly surprised. Okay, humph. If you dare to lie to me, I'll strip you naked and make you run around naked. Su Yu hung up the phone and was in a good mood. Guess who's back? Su Yu asked mysteriously. Chapter 2577. Uncle Tang, Pudding answered. Smart. That's the right answer. Su Yu gave Pudding a thumbs up dotingly. This girl was so smart. He could tell from her tone. What? You're so talkative. I was about to say it was Uncle Tang. Pudding pouted. Chin Moo Moo. What's the point of saying such things in hindsight? Pudding glanced at her sister calmly. I'm not saying such things in hindsight. I really did think of it. After all, Handsome Su only has a few good friends. Even an idiot would think of it. Pudding was obviously not convinced. Okay. You're both great. Stop arguing. You're giving me a headache. Huamin was most afraid of the twins arguing. They could argue for 3 days and 3 nights and still enjoy it. Yeah. Our little bean is great too. So he was also fair. He was afraid that if he offended one of them, he would have a hard time in the future. Handsome Sue, is my Annie back too? Pudding suddenly realized an important question. I forgot to ask. Sue was dumbfounded. You? Look at how careless you are. You're not even as good as a kid. Homin laughed. The problem is she's not a kid. She's smart, okay? Sue smiled helplessly. I'm guessing. Annie must be back too. They're in the honeymoon phase of their relationship. Uncle Tang can't come back alone. It's hard enough to be in a long-distance relationship, let alone an international one. Annie must be back too. By the way, where are they now? Pudding looked at Sue and asked. They just got off the plane. They're in the VIP lounge. I'm going to pick them up. I want to go too. Pudding immediately raised her hand. Okay. I'll take you. I'll go too. Pudding put away her cell phone calmly. What about you? Sue looked at Huamin. I won't go. It'll be boring with so many people. You can take them. Ning Ning will definitely stay at my place tonight. I'll just bring them back. Mommy, where are you going? Pudding asked. Me? I'm going to the company to take a look. Your Auntie Bella has been sending me WeChat messages, asking me to visit her when I'm free. You can go to the company, but remember, Mommy, you can't meet that creepy-looking male doctor, Little Bean warned. Understood, ancestor. Huamin looked helpless. She didn't know what logic Little Bean had. Why did she suspect that there was something between her and Lu Zhe? She was speechless. Sue felt that it was a pity that Huamin didn't go, but he didn't urge her to stay. He looked at Huamin's back as she left. She was almost 30 years old, but she was still the same calm, elegant, and wise Huamin that he liked so much that he couldn't let go of. Don't look. You can't take your eyes off her. Little Bean tugged on Sue's sleeve. Little brat, don't talk nonsense. Sue was also embarrassed. Handsome Sue, don't mind my sister. She's been updating early, Pudding explained. Bullshit. I'm not updating early. How old am I? Don't slander me, okay? Don't think that you can bully me just because you married into the Wei family and became a young lady. Let me tell you, Wei Yuan is going to be the director of the municipal bureau. When that time comes, your Wei Yinshu will have to rely on us, the senior officials, to do his business. Stop bragging. Would you die? Gao Wei Yuan's body is too fat to be a police officer, let alone a director. Don't you feel ashamed? You're just bragging. Pudding exposed him, making Sue speechless. Chapter 2578. Handsome Sue, look at my sister. She's bullying us again. Little Bean stomped her feet in anger. Okay, stop arguing. Your mommy just left, and you're going to turn into a demon. Let's go. Your Uncle Tang can't wait any longer. Then, Sue held the twins' hands and got into the sports car. In fact, the sports car could only seat 2 people. 2 kids weren't allowed to sit in the passenger seat. Usually, whenever Huamin and Qin Shu took the kids out, they would change cars and not drive sports cars. However, Sue was different. He was a man who could do anything he wanted in this city. Even if the traffic police saw him, they wouldn't dare to stop him. This was the power that the Sue family had built up over decades. The black Lamborghini sped towards the airport. After Huamin came out of Nantian Hot Springs, he drove to GK as expected. President Hua, nice to meet you. A young lady, nice to meet you. When the people in the company saw Huamin, they all greeted him respectfully. Some called him President Hua, while others called him a young lady. Sis, why are you here? Jixin had just finished a meeting in the department with a report. When he walked out and saw Huamin, he was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, where's Bella? Oh, she's in the finance department. She went to settle the salaries of the employees who left this month. Okay, sis, why are you looking for her? Nothing, I just want to see her. What's wrong? Huamin turned around and looked at Jixin. It's nothing, huh? Go ahead. Jixin scratched his head. He was too embarrassed to tell his sister about the snail-like progress between him and Bella. Back then, Huamin did a lot to set them up. However, Jixin didn't dare to take the final step, so his relationship with Bella was still hanging by a thread. When Huamian was about to push the door open, She heard Bella's voice from the inside. I've tolerated you guys for a long time. In the future, if I hear you guys talking about President Qin and President Hua behind their backs again, don't blame me for being rude. Although I don't have the final say in this company, I have more than enough power to fire a small finance employee. Sister Bella, why are you throwing a tantrum at us? We're not the ones who spread the rumors. Didn't the media say that President Qin was photographed having dinner with another woman? President Hua is also said to be having an affair with a male doctor. These are all groundless rumors. They're not true. As GK's employees, you don't have much to do, but you sure know how to gossip. If that's the case, why are you still in finance? Why don't you just become paparazzi? Bella's words were sharp. Everyone was silent. Bella was an experienced employee and was very capable. She used to be Hua Min's personal assistant and later became very close to Jixin, so no one dared to offend her. Sister Sun, you're not young anymore. Don't mess around with young people. Work hard until you retire. After all, GK treats its employees well. If you get fired one day, you'll lose all your benefits. Don't say I didn't warn you. Bella glared at Sun Xiao. I know, Assistant Bella. Sun Xiao bit her lip and didn't dare to say anything else. Upon hearing this, Hua Min gently knocked on the door and walked in. Bella, President Hua, why are you here? Bella was pleasantly surprised to see Hua Min. I don't have anything to do today, so I came to see you guys who are working overtime. Thank you for your hard work. Hua Min looked around and said with a smile. It's not hard at all, a young lady. You're too kind. Everyone in the finance department was terrified, thinking that Hua Min heard what they said and that they would be in trouble. Chapter 2579. Hua Min walked up to Sun Xiao with a smile. She was so scared that she lowered her head and didn't dare to look at Hua Min. Big Sister Sun, are you all right? Did you continue to take your medicine? I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. A young lady, Sun Xiao said obediently. She didn't have the arrogance she had when she was gossiping. Bella glared at her, feeling better. That's good. Myocardial infarction isn't a laughing matter. Take care of yourself. Okay, a young lady. Bella, let's go. We'll talk in your office. Okay. After Hua Min and Bella left, the finance department let out a sigh of relief. Do you think a young lady heard what we said just now? A female colleague asked anxiously. Who knows? I think a young lady is unpredictable. Although she doesn't lose her temper, she's still very scary. Forget it. I've learned my lesson. Let's not talk about it anymore. It doesn't matter if she's divorced or not. It's none of our business. We're only responsible for working and making money. Sun Xiao was also scared. She had always been afraid that Hua Min would cause trouble for her. After all, when she first recovered from her illness, she arranged that dinner party. That was how she got Qin Shu and Zhang Manlin together. She had always felt guilty about it. In Bella's office, President Hua, why didn't you tell me you were coming? I came here on the spur of the moment. I'll make you a cup of tea. Bella stood up. Don't be so busy. Have a seat. I just came out of Nantian Hot Springs and had a belly full of tea. I'm not thirsty. Then why are you here today? Bella didn't know if Hua Min was here to check up on President Qin or something else. I just came to see you. Every time you sent me a WeChat message, I felt like you wanted to say something. I was very busy at the hospital and didn't have time to talk to you in detail. So I'm free today. President Hua, this matter is actually... Just call me Sister Mian. I'm not President Hua anymore. Hua Min smiled. Bella pursed her lips and smiled faintly. Sister Mian, I think. Jixin told you about it before, right? Are you talking about my husband and Zhang Manlin? Hua Min asked. Bella nodded. Okay, go on. Hua Min knew that Bella was a very cautious person, so he respected some of her thoughts and choices. I feel that President Qin's whereabouts have been very suspicious recently. You mean? There are a lot of things that he has to cancel before he even finishes his important work. But it's not time to get off work yet, so I think it might have something to do with Zhang Manlin. Plus, President Qin has never looked at any female colleagues, no matter how pretty they are. But he seems to treat Zhang Manlin differently, Bella said in one breath. Oh, I see. Hua Min nodded thoughtfully. There's one more thing that I feel very depressed about. Go ahead. Huamin listened to Bella carefully. After Assistant Yang's accident, he's been recuperating and hasn't come back. Okay, I know. Huamin nodded. Assistant Yang had been a good person at GK for the past few years. After he was hospitalized, Qin Shu and Huamin personally visited him at the hospital and his home many times. Assistant Yang's injuries are almost healed. He has to come back to work, but President Qin didn't approve, Bella said unhappily. What does Assistant Yang's return have to do with this? Huamin froze. I think President Qin doesn't want Zhang Manlin to come to GK as his assistant and replace Assistant Yang. Bella was a little worried. Chapter 2580. You can't replace his assistant, right? Huamin chuckled. I'm serious, Sister Mian. You don't have to let your guard down anymore. The media may have exaggerated things, but President Qin did meet with Zhang Manlin a few times in private. I know about 3 or 4 times, and Zhang Manlin paused. And what? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable if I tell you. Just tell me. It's okay. I'm not as weak as you think. And when I brought President Qin his coffee, I saw him and Zhang Manlin texting each other on WeChat. Oh no, not WeChat. It should be on Weibo. Bella recalled carefully. Okay, I got it. Sister Mian, it's useless to know. You can't keep holding back. Then what can I do? Tear Zhang Manlin apart? That's not my style. I think it's low. Huamin chuckled. Indeed, she had never thought that Zhang Manlin was a match for her. Even the scheming Song Yishur was nothing to her. You don't have to tear Zhang Manlin apart, but you have to at least do something about it. For example, I think you can ask the twins to call their dad or something to buy more time for President Qin to stay at home with you and the twins, or continue. Huamin knew Bella was very careful with her words. Without his permission, she wouldn't say anything. Or you can seize the opportunity to have a second child. Huamin laughed heartily at her words. What are you laughing at? Did I say something wrong? Bella bit her lip, not knowing what to do. You're right. I think it's an interesting idea. I'm serious. Don't take it to heart. I know. I remember. Afterwards, Huamin and Bella chatted for a while. In the end, he grabbed Bella's hand and said, Bella, you're not young anymore. Although Jixin is younger than you, I can tell that you still have feelings for him. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Happiness is your own, and it's something that will last for the rest of your life. I've watched Jixin grow up. I can't guarantee anything else, but don't worry about his character. Sister Mian, I know, Bella said shyly. All right, there have been a lot of things going on recently. After a while, you can officially have a meal at my house and meet my mother. If there are no problems then, you can settle the matter as soon as possible. Don't delay it. We're not in a hurry. Let's settle the matter between you and Chairman Qin first. Mr. Qin and I are fine. Don't worry. Even if something happens, it will pass, Huamin said confidently. His words to Bella were also very vague, and Bella was very confused when she heard it. After talking for a while, Huamin saw that it was getting late, so he stood up and left. Sister Mian, wait for a while. When Chairman Qin comes back, you can leave together. No, I still want to go to the hospital. There's an orthopedic surgery today, and I'm worried. I want to go and check it out. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Be careful. As soon as Huamin left GK, Qin Shu came back, so the couple didn't see each other. After Zhang Manlin ran away, Qin Shu went to meet with his business partners to discuss business. It was quite a fulfilling day. In the departure lounge of Sea City International Airport, Auntie, the twins ran to her as soon as they saw her. Chapter 2581. Little Bean, did you miss me? Qi Ning was always dressed in jeans and a white short-sleeve shirt. Maybe it was because the weather was getting warmer, but she was wearing a very short shirt that exposed her navel. Qi Ning, who had always been conservative, showed off her personality. Qi Ning hugged Little Bean and kissed her on her chubby cheeks. Her eyes were full of love. Madam, we're not in L.A. Can you put on a jacket? Tang Chuan put a black jacket on Qi Ning. He was very considerate. Oh, young Master Tang, I didn't expect you to have such a day. Su Yu laughed at him. Single people don't understand this feeling. You can laugh at me, but I don't care. I sympathize with you. Fuck, what are you talking about? Su Yu rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. Haha, I'm just kidding. Don't be so serious. Tang Chuan smiled and patted Su Yu on the shoulder. Pudding, come here. Annie wants to kiss you. Qi Ning waved at Pudding, who was standing on the side calmly. No, you'll get saliva all over my face, Pudding said in disdain. Qi Ning, ha, I didn't know you'd be disliked. Tang Chuan teased Qi Ning. Pudding, you can't dislike me. Qi Ning said coquettishly. It's okay if I dislike you. As long as Uncle Tang doesn't dislike you, Pudding said. This kid, her mouth is getting better and better. Qi Ning was speechless. Tang Chuan was in a good mood after he came back. As soon as he got off the plane, he smiled and hugged Su Yu's shoulder, talking nonstop. Why are you here alone? Where's my sister-in-law? Qi Ning asked. She went to the company to deal with something. Oh, Su, do you know what's going on with them? Qi Ning was impatient and asked directly. So you didn't know how to explain. Auntie, let's talk about this in private. As the saying goes, don't wash your dirty linen in public. Little Bean reminded her seriously. All right, let's go then. Don't be in such a hurry to go back. I want to eat hot pot. No, I really want to eat Haidaleo. Damn, the hot pot in America's Chinatown is so expensive, and it's not authentic. I'm dying. Tang Chuan looked aggrieved. In the end, everyone reached a consensus and went to Haidaleo for a meal. Su Yu, Qi Ning, and Tang Chuan brought their 2 children. After Huamin left the company, he did not go straight home. Instead, he went to Southside to collect some documents. Today was Zhang Manlin's day off, so she didn't have to look at Zhang Manlin's face. Zhang Manlin could even imitate her movements. Vice Dean, you're here. Did the surgery go well? Huamin asked. Yes, everything is going well. The patient has just been pushed to the intensive care unit and is still under observation. That's good. Vice Dean, aren't you off today? The doctor on duty was curious. I came to collect some documents and see how the surgery went. The patient asked President Wu to take extra care of her. Yes, we also received a call from President Wu. We'll take good care of her. Okay, I'll go now. You guys go ahead. After reading the documents, Huamin went back to his office to collect the documents. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Dr. Hua, do you mind if we talk? Chapter 2582. Why are you here again? Huamin smiled when he saw Jiang Yi. It's all because of President Su. He's even more worried about you than your husband. He can't even talk to you peacefully, Jiang Yi said helplessly. Su's always been like that. He's always honest and straightforward. He doesn't know how to pretend. I know. President Su doesn't actually hate me. Otherwise, he wouldn't have agreed to work with us. But I know he doesn't like anyone getting close to you. He thinks I'm too calm and doesn't want me to get bullied, Huamin explained. I know. Why are you here? Huamin suddenly remembered that Jiang Yi seemed to have something important to tell him. However, he was interrupted by Su Yu's arrival. Otherwise, he wouldn't have chased him all the way here from Nantian Hot Springs. Yes, I wanted to tell you. Jiang Yi was just about to speak. Huamin anxiously interrupted him. Jiang Yi, I know you still have feelings for me, but it's impossible between us. You know I have a husband, a child, and a family. In other words, even if I didn't have these things, I would still be single. I wouldn't like you. You're not my type, so don't waste your time. No, Dr. Hua, I actually wanted to say, Jiang Yi was a bit anxious and wanted to explain himself to Huamin. How about this? I'll treat you to a meal as a farewell. In the future, don't come looking for me. You and I aren't even friends. I'm not like Su Yu. Don't even think about getting anything from me. Huamin's tone was cold. Jiang Yi was confused. Huamin's reaction was so big. What he said also confused him. At this moment, he looked at Huamin and suddenly realized that Huamin's eyes seemed to be hinting at something. Jiang Yi wasn't stupid. He had been in the entertainment industry for many years. Therefore, she immediately understood Huamin's intention. She played along and said, Dr. Hua, I actually really like you. I'm not just fooling around. I don't want to use those tricks. If I lack women, I can find a bunch of them in the entertainment industry. They're all younger than you, have good looks, and have good figures. However, I don't like them. There's no point in saying that. I don't think it's meaningful. I know, but I really don't want to give up on you. Let me put it this way. I saw the media say that your relationship with your husband is tense, and you might even get a divorce. So what? What does it have to do with you? Your husband is already like that. He betrayed you. He's not worthy of your love. Why don't you come with me? I'll treat you well. Stop fooling around. With you? Then I might as well follow Suyu. Huamin sneered. Then can you guarantee that Suyu won't cheat on you in the future? Jiang Yi asked. Then how can you guarantee that you won't cheat on me in the future? Huamin mocked. I'm different from them. The more fickle a man is on the outside, the more loyal he is. Okay, that's enough. This is my office where I work. I don't want to discuss these things with you. Jiang Yi didn't say anything. I'll treat you to dinner. After dinner, we'll talk. Hurry back to Jing City and don't come looking for me again. After speaking, Huamin took the documents and walked out of the office. Jiang Yi followed behind him. The sound of the door closing could be heard. Boss, they're out. Should we get someone to follow them? Aching asked Huasiqian. Huasiqian put down the listening device and shook his head. No need. Trash like Jiang Yi is nothing. In the future, he won't have a chance to pester my Mion. After leaving Southside, Jiang Yi and Huamin drove to a secluded coffee shop in the economic district. Dr. Hua, what happened just now? Is there a listening device in your office? Jiang Yi guessed. Chapter 2583. Huamin nodded seriously. Fuck, that's scary. Did Huasiqian do this? Jiang Yi continued to guess. Yeah, holy shit, that's psycho. He's everywhere. But if you knew that he planted a bug, how could you still be so calm? I just wanted to beat him at his own game. Even if I got rid of it this time, I don't know where he planted it next time. Beat him at his own game? Oh, I get it now. You and Qin Shu have been acting lately? Jiang Yi suddenly realized what was going on. Huamin didn't answer. Deep down, she didn't want anyone else to know about this. Otherwise, if Huasiqian heard about it, everything would be for naught. Jiang Yi seemed to know what Huamin was thinking because he promised her seriously, Huamin, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Thank you. No need to thank me. Huasiqian is also my enemy. You want to get revenge for Mo Shui? Huamin asked. Not really. First of all, Mo Shui, and I are just friends. We don't have any feelings for each other. Second of all, I'm no match for Huasiqian. I'm not that arrogant, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, I won't tell anyone about your acting. What did you want to tell me in the office? Huamin had a feeling that Jiang Yi had something important to tell her. Plus, it seemed like it had something to do with Huasiqian. That was why she stopped Jiang Yi in time and didn't let him say it in the office. Otherwise, if Huasiqian heard everything, the effect would be ruined. Yeah, it's very important. If Suyu didn't suddenly show up, I would have told you at Nantian Hot Springs. Tell me now, it's safe here. Ever since Qin Shu found out that Huasiqian was spying on him, he installed an anti-tracking device in Huamin's bag. Therefore, as long as he came out, he wouldn't be eavesdropped on. He could also check if there was anything eavesdropping on him. It was very advanced. Qin Shu also had one on him. In other words, if they wanted Huasiqian to hear, he could hear it. If they didn't want him to hear it, he wouldn't hear it. Huamian, let me tell you. You'll be surprised too. I think this is an important clue. Tell me, a while ago, I went to see Mayor Song's wife. Mrs. Song? Didn't she go to a temple in the south to recuperate? Huamian asked. She's and I a friend. And there's I'm. What? Song Yisher's diary. Jiang Yi said mysteriously. Song Yisher's diary? What could it be? He thought about how Song Yisher had been manipulated by Huasiqian. It was because of this diary that Qin Shu became a murderer. Therefore, Huamin subconsciously hated the word diary. You don't understand. The diary that was released before Song Yisher's death was written by her, but she didn't want to. She wanted to frame Qin Shu. Yes. Huamin nodded. But this diary is Song Yishi's real, handwritten diary. When was it written? Before or after? If it was before, it wouldn't be of any value. She didn't have any clues when she was abroad. She was just a rich girl. It wasn't before. It was after she married Hua Xiqian. Jiang Yi lowered his voice. How could it be? How could Hua Xiqian not destroy such an important diary? Huamin couldn't believe it. Chapter 2584. Hua Xiqian probably didn't expect Song Yishi to be so smart at times. That's not right. If Song Yishi left the diary in her mother's house, it would make sense if Hua Xiqian didn't find out. How come the Song family didn't find out? That's where Song Yishi was smart. She was afraid that Hua Xiqian would search her house. After all, Mayor Song was sent to prison because of Hua Xiqian. So, how did you find out about the diary? I just happened to see Lady Song dealing with Song Yishi's belongings when she was moving. One of the diary caught my attention. Huamin didn't say anything and continued to listen to Jiang Yi. The cover of the diary was very strange. It was a picture of Satan. The style was scary and creepy. It didn't look like something a girl would use. It wasn't locked, and at first glance, it looked inconspicuous. I flipped through it, but there wasn't a single word inside. Then, Huamin frowned slightly. Then, when I was about to close it, my friend came over to take a look. He was eating fruit at the time, so the fruit seller dropped some undried water in the diary. Then, a miracle happened. The diary was written with a special pen. After it was finished, it automatically disappeared. When it came into contact with water again, there was a chemical reaction, right? Smart. Jiang Yi looked at Huamin approvingly. What about the diary? What was written in it? Huamin was curious. There was a period of time when Song Yishi, after getting married to Hua Xiqian, wasn't normal. She was crazy and almost went crazy. I won't say more. There's a lot of information. Take a look for yourself. The diary is with you. Yes, it's in my bag. I came here because I wanted to find a chance to give it to you. I didn't expect to bump into you at Nantian Hot Springs. Actually, even if I didn't bump into you that day, I would have found a chance to look for you. But I might have sent it to your office directly. Luckily, I didn't. Otherwise, Hua Xiqian would have found out. Are you really willing to give me something so important? Huamin was a little hesitant. You don't believe me? Are you afraid that I forged it? Jiang Yi asked. No, I'm just thinking that if Hua Xiqian finds out that you have something like this in your hands, you might get yourself killed. Don't worry, he won't find out. I'm not that careless. Then, Jiang Yi carefully took out the diary. It wasn't big, and it even looked a little old. It had been more than 4 years since Song Yishi's death, so the diary looked a little old. You can compare the handwriting inside with Song Yishi's original diary. Then you'll know if it's real or fake. No need. I believe that you won't lie to me. Huamin said, You can read it when you get back. It's not safe outside. Okay, but there's something I don't understand. Jiang Yi said, Speak. Why do you think Song Yishi would choose a diary with a cover like this? It's too scary. It has to do with her mentality. I think that ever since she married Hua Xiqian, Song Yishi has been very abnormal. As for what she went through, only she knows. But she's already dead, so we have no way of knowing. Logically speaking, that shouldn't be the case. Shui was with Hua Xiqian for all those years, but she didn't write anything like this in her diary. People are different. Mo Shui loved Hua Xiqian. Even if she found out something, she wouldn't say it. But Song Yishi is different. She hated Hua Xiqian. She left this diary in the hope that someone would find it in the future and avenge her. Huamin calmly analyzed. You're the best. You hit the nail on the head. Jiang Yi really admired Huamin. This girl was younger than him by more than 10 years. She could always find the crux of the problem. Since you got the diary, you should go. It's best if you discuss it with your husband. I think the things inside will be useful to you. Have you read it? What's inside? Huamin looked at Jiang Yi and asked word by word. Chapter 2585. I only read a part of it. I didn't finish it. Why? Would you believe me if I said I wasn't interested? Jiang Yi looked at Huo Min seriously. Huo Min nodded. With Jiang Ye's eccentric personality, it wasn't impossible. They didn't even touch their cups of coffee. After less than half an hour, Huo Min left in a hurry. He didn't want Qian to get suspicious. When Huo Min got home, Qin Shu and the twins weren't back yet. She went upstairs and took a shower. In the bathroom, she took out the diary and slowly opened it. Then, she dipped it in the water and started reading Song Yishi's handwritten diary. Originally, she wanted to wait for Mr. Qin to come back so they could read it together in the study. But then she thought it was inappropriate. There were too many spies in the house. If someone found out, it would be over. She didn't want to drag Jiang Yi down with her, so Huo Mian decided to read it first before telling Mr. Qin. Huo Mian patiently and carefully wetted the diary with water droplets, and the clear handwriting slowly appeared. At first, Huo Min was calm. Song Yishi's emotions were unstable at the time, so the things she wrote were incoherent. For example, I can't sleep every night. I don't know when these days will end. Why is God doing this to me? Why can Huo Min have everything while I have nothing? I hate everyone in this world. I don't want to. I don't know why, but I don't want to live anymore. Ha! Another example. I didn't dare to tell my parents about my situation. They couldn't have imagined that their daughter, the apple of their eye, was living a hellish life. If I hadn't come back to China, things wouldn't have turned out like this. If I had been the one who fell in love with Qin Shu back then, everything would have been mine. I've never felt that time was so hard to pass. I didn't know where my tomorrow would be, and I didn't know how that person would continue to deal with me. Such a messy way of expressing herself didn't seem to have come from Song Yishi. However, she had seen the diary that Song Yishi wrote to frame Qin Shu. She had studied it for a long time, so she could tell at a glance that it was indeed Song Yishi's handwriting. However, Song Yishi was a person with a high IQ. She wouldn't speak so incoherently. Therefore, Huo Min was sure that Song Yishi's mentality had changed a lot after she married Qian. The more he read, the more horrifying the content became. Huo Min's face turned pale. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. She was so scared that she quickly put the diary away. "Who is it?" Huo Min asked cautiously. "A young lady, old madam, made the bird's nest herself. I put on the bedside table for you. Drink it while it's hot," the maid said. "Okay, leave it there. I'll drink it after I take a shower." "Okay, I'll leave now." After the maid left, Huo Min became even more cautious. She picked up the shower head and sprayed it on the floor. She was afraid that people would suspect that she wasn't taking a shower. After a long time, Huo Min finally saw the diary. At this moment, even the look in her eyes had changed. After 4 years, she didn't expect to see something that Song Yishi had left behind. It was really amazing. She had to admit that this woman had some tricks up her sleeve. She actually used this method to preserve this diary. What was even more coincidental was that Jiang Yi had discovered it. If no one had discovered it, wouldn't her efforts have been wasted? After Huo Min finished reading, she burned the diary in the bathroom and flushed it down the toilet. Finally, she walked out of the bathroom. Suddenly, she slipped and fell toward the floor in front of her. Huo Min gasped in surprise. Then, she instinctively covered her stomach. Chapter 2586. At this moment, a tall figure flashed over and held her in his arms. Smelling the familiar scent, she felt much more at ease. "Honey, you're back?" Huo Min hugged Qin Shu tightly. "How could you be so careless? I was just showering. I forgot to put on my slippers when I came out. Thank goodness you came back in time, or else I would have fallen." Huo Min stuck out her tongue. Just then, Qin Shu suddenly let go of Huo Min and pushed him to the side. "I heard you met Jiang Yi at Nantian Hot Springs today. When did you become so close to him?" Qin Shu questioned coldly. Huo Min was confused, wondering how Mr. Qin had changed his mind so quickly. Then, he saw Caillou, the maid, pretending to be mopping the floor. He immediately understood what was going on. So he said on purpose, "Yeah, but we met by chance. I didn't know he would go." "That's not what I asked. What I asked was, how do you know him? Don't you know who he is?" "I know, but we're just friends." "Friends? Then you sure have a lot of friends." Su is your friend, and so is your ex, Ning Ziyuan. Mian, aren't you a little too popular? Shu, what do you mean? You know what I mean. Do you even need to ask? We've been busy all day. I really don't want to fight. Huamin sighed heavily. I don't want to either, but you're getting more and more out of hand. You took the kids out and even met another man. Is that okay? Shu was a little annoyed. How dare you talk about me like that? When I went to the company this afternoon, you weren't there. The finance department was talking about you and Zhang Manlin. Don't think I don't know anything. You said there's nothing between you and her, but Bella said you've been putting off work and going out. Who knows what you've been doing? It seems that Bella has reached the end of the line. She actually dared to gossip. Chu's face darkened. If you didn't do that, would you let others talk about it? You keep saying that I don't care about the children's feelings, but what about you? Have you ever cared? You've been leaving early and coming home late these days. You've been making excuses about where the kids want to go, saying that you're busy. But in the end, you still went to see Zhang Manlin and got caught by the media. Now that it's blown up, I'm embarrassed in front of my friends. It even made the headlines. Who's the one who doesn't care about this family? Huamin shouted frantically. Mian, you're becoming more and more unreasonable. I'm unreasonable? Oh my God, where's the law? This society is unfair to begin with. When a man cheats, everyone thinks it's normal. Even if he apologizes, everything will go back to normal. Then, the red flag at home will not fall, and the red flag outside will not fall. But when a woman has a scandal, she'll drown in saliva. I haven't even been convicted of anything yet, and I'm already the center of the whole world. Right? Mian, you weren't like this before. Look at you now. You're like a shrew. I'm speechless. I wasn't like this before because we used to love each other so much. But now, you don't like me anymore. I'm not young anymore, and I'm not fun anymore. So you want someone else. You miss the younger me, and that's why you like Zhang Manlin. Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing. The media likes to spread rumors. Do you believe them? Where did your high IQ go? Chu accused. Chapter 2587. Haha, the media is making groundless accusations because they can find clues. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't do things like that. Chu, you're not only the president of a big company and a famous entrepreneur, but you're also the father of twins and a woman's husband. Don't forget who you are. Huamian glared at him. Forget it. I don't want to talk to you. There's no point in arguing. I'm going to work in the study. With that, Chu turned around and left. No, I'm not done talking. You can't go to the study. With that, Huamin followed Chu into the study. The noise was still coming from the study, so the maid, Caillou, carefully went downstairs. 5 minutes later, in the study, honey, come here and hug me. Chu opened his arms and pointed at his thigh. He looked at Huamin with love in his eyes. Huamin was a little shy. She lowered her head and walked over shyly. She sat on Chu's lap. Wow, what's with that expression? Huamin tilted her head and looked at Chu. She was very happy to be so close to him. Honey, did you get fat from eating too much? You seem heavier than before. Chu teased her on purpose. How long has it been since you hugged me? You don't even remember my weight. No, I remember that you got fat from eating too much. So, did you secretly eat something good behind my back? Chu lovingly pinched her chubby cheeks. That's because Huamin was so happy that she almost blurted out that she was pregnant. But when she thought about the current situation, she held back. Because of what? Chu looked at her curiously. Because I've been turning my grief into appetite. Pretending to argue with you is tiring, okay? Of course, I have to eat better. That's a reason. Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why? Do you think I'm fat? How could that be? Go ahead and eat. It's better to get fatter. That way, Suyu won't miss you. Huamin, what does it have to do with Suyu? Don't talk nonsense, okay? I miss you so much. I really hope that these days will end soon. Chu turned Huamin's head and gently kissed it. This kind of kiss made Huamin's heart beat faster. All these years, this kind of feeling had never disappeared. All right, let's not waste any more time. In a while, that little maid will probably come up to monitor us again. Yes, don't waste time. Honey, take off your pants. Hubby, you've become dirty. It hasn't changed. Your husband has always been like this. Chin Chu smiled. All right, stop messing around. I really have something important to tell you. Okay, go ahead. I won't affect you. Then Mr. Chin began to move his hands up and down. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Come on, Mr. Chin. How can I tell you when you're like this? Can't we just have fun? Huamin was exasperated. Honey, it's been so long, and you still haven't given me any pleasure. If this continues, I'll die. Chin Chu said it with a straight face, as if he was a punching bag. Huamin almost laughed out loud. You're still laughing? Honey, you have hands. President Mao said that if you do it yourself, you'll have plenty to eat. Fuck off. How dare you threaten me with the president? No, I have to collect interest first. Chin Chu lifted up Huamin's clothes and began to touch him. She giggled, but didn't dare to speak too loudly, afraid that someone outside would overhear. Honey, stop messing around. I really have something important to tell you. Today, I got a Song Isher's diary, Huamin said. Chin Chu immediately stopped what he was doing, and his expression became serious. Chapter 2588. She's been dead for so long. Why are you bringing her up again? Chin Chu didn't want to talk about Song Yisher, even though it was Hua Xiqian who planned everything. However, it was also because of her death that he and Hua Mian were separated for 4 years. Chin Chu didn't like this woman, so when Mayor Song went to jail, he didn't even visit him, nor did he help the Song family. Chin Chu's motto was, I'm not doing charity. Why should I help this and that? Yes, other than his family and loved ones, he didn't care about anything else. Jiang Yi gave me the diary. Jiang Yi? Chin Chu was a bit surprised. Then, Huamin told him how Jiang Yi met him and gave him the diary. Chin Chu didn't say anything. Mian, can we trust Jiang Yi's words? He was indeed suspicious and had to be careful. What if Jiang Yi was Hua Xiqian's man? I'm not sure, but this diary was written by Song Yisher herself. I've compared the handwriting. If Jiang Yi was Hua Xiqian's man, then there was no need for him to do this, because the contents of the diary are bad for Hua Xiqian. So, what's the content of the diary? Chin Chu was curious. What did Song Yisher leave behind before she died? It's about Hua Xiqian's split personality. That thing? Don't we all know about it? Chin Chu didn't think this clue was valuable to him. Yes, we know, but we don't know the details. We only know that he has that illness, but Song Yisher lived through it, so the clue she gave us is useful. We can prepare in advance. What did she say? Chin Chu frowned slightly. She said that when Hua Xiqian splits into another person, it's very scary. He doesn't remember his original self, like a demon. His usual self is already a demon. Chin Chu mocked. Yes, but from what Song Yisher wrote, I can feel a chill down my spine. Maybe it's really scary. That's why we have to get rid of this psychopath. Hubby, do you remember when I told you before that I saw him after he split? Yeah, I heard you say that. I wonder what it'll be like if I see him like that again. You know, Hua Xiqian keeps saying that he likes me. Even though he hates me, he's never done anything to hurt me. In the past, he only ate with me. But that night, I was really scared. That Hua Xiqian was different from usual. If he had caught me that night, I don't know what would have happened. So, Chin Chu didn't finish. That's why Song Yisher wrote that she saw Hua Xiqian after the split and that he was not human. I sympathized with her. Forget it, it's all in the past. There's no need to sympathize with someone who's no longer alive. I think she deserved it. Honey, we have to be more careful now. After the split, Hua Xiqian is inhumane. He won't show any mercy to us because that's another person in his body. I won't be soft-hearted or soft-hearted anymore. I have to protect myself and our child. After speaking, Huamin subconsciously covered her stomach. She was a mother again, so she had to be strong. All right, I forgot to tell you something. Huamin suddenly remembered something. What? Chin Chu looked up. Hua Xiqian told me today that he's getting married. Chapter 2589. Mary. Qin Chu frowned slightly, finding it strange. Yes. With who? It should be Yan Ruashi, Mayor Yan's daughter. You know, they've been together before. Did he say it himself? He's going to marry Yan Ruashi? Qin Chu continued to ask. He didn't say it himself, but I don't think it's fake. Hua Xiqian wouldn't joke about such a big thing, Hua Min analyzed. Then it's strange. How so? Hua Xiqian is acting very strange. Why would he get married at a time like this? Qin Chu was puzzled. Honey, do you think he needs Mayor Yan for something? That's why he's planning to marry Yan Ruashi. What is his goal? Qin Chu shook his head. Mian, you're being silly again. With Hua Xiqian's current status, he doesn't need to rely on Mayor Yan anymore. He won't be able to achieve anything. Can't you see? He doesn't even want to solve the Hua Corporation's crisis. It means he doesn't care about money anymore. What he wants is you. Qin Chu's words hit the nail on the head. Hua Min froze and didn't know what to say. Hua Xiqian is acting very strange. We need to be more careful. Honey, what should we do next? Hua Min began to worry. Hua Xiqian often didn't play by the rules. He wasn't easy to deal with. Let's wait and see what Hua Xiqian is up to. MHM. Hua Min nodded. Honey, MHM? You need to be extra careful these days. Whether it's Liu Zhe or Zhang Manlin, other than those you trust, you need to be extra careful. I have a feeling our final battle with Hua Xiqian is coming soon. MHM, I will. Honey, you need to be careful too. I'm worried that he'll do something to you, especially after reading Song Yishi's diary. I'm worried that Hua Xiqian will turn into a real demon. He might do something even more cruel and crazy. After all, he's inhumane. MHM. Hua Min looked at his watch. It was about time. He got up reluctantly and hugged Qin Chu's neck. I really don't have the heart to fight with you. I want to cherish every second. Me too. Qin Chu gently kissed Hua Min's eyelashes, full of love. But I know we have to hold it in. We still have to do it. We have to win. Hua Min was full of confidence. We will. Then I'll go out first. I don't want Kai Yu to see me. Okay. Qin Chu reluctantly watched Hua Min walk out. Then he began to think about the information Hua Min told him tonight. Hua Xiqian was getting married? And the other side, mentioned in Song Yishi's diary, the demonized Hua Xiqian? It seemed like things were getting more and more complicated when Hua Min walked downstairs. The maid named Kai Yu was still at the door. Hua Mian had an idea and pretended to shed a few tears. A young lady, why are you crying? Kai Yu asked. Nothing, nothing. She purposely didn't say anything and quickened her pace downstairs. Mian, what's wrong? Did you fight with Chu again? Mama Qin asked, heartbroken. Chapter 2590. It's okay, Mom. I'm going to pick up the kids. Where are the kids? Why aren't they back yet? Didn't they go to the hot spring with you this morning? Mama Qin asked. Yeah. Then I got a call saying that Ning Ning and her boyfriend came back to China. They went to have dinner together. They must have had a lot of fun. Ning Ning's back? Did your second uncle agree to their relationship? Mrs. Qin asked curiously. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Ning Ning yet. I'll ask her when I see her. Okay. Drive slowly, Mian, Grandma said. Then, Hua Min drove out and called Suyu to ask for their location. Hey, DeLeo. When Hua Min arrived, he saw the twins eating hot pot. The atmosphere was very good. Mommy's here. Waitress, please get my mommy a new set of tableware. Little Bean was very good at pleasing. Hua Min sat between the twins with a smile. Sis-in-law, I missed you so much. Qin Ning stood up and gave Hua Min a big hug. Sis-in-law, I haven't seen you in a few days. You've gotten prettier, Tang Chuan said with a smile. Don't talk nonsense. I know I look like. Ever since I was a kid, the word pretty has nothing to do with me. Hua Min laughed. Yeah, Uncle Tang told you to flatter him, and now you're flattering him. Ha! Shame on you, shame on you. Lil Bean mocked Tang Chuan. You flatter me. When it comes to flattering, no one can beat you. Little Bean, you're the real flatterer. Little Bean was speechless. Uncle Tang, you're telling the truth again, Little Bean added. Andy, look, they're teaming up to bully me, Little Bean complained. You're arguing with a kid. Don't you think it's embarrassing? Qin Ning scolded. Honey, you're right. Tang Chuan looked at Qin Ning with love in his eyes. You're already calling her honey? Looks like the two of you have been developing very quickly recently. Did you do a lot of things that are not suitable for children? Little Bean's mind started to become dirty. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not that kind of person, Qin Ning said awkwardly. Where's Qin Shu? Why didn't he come with you? So you looked at Huamin. He just got off work. He still has a lot of work to do. Do you really have work to do? Or do you want to meet someone else? So you seem to be implying something. Lord Su, what do you mean? Is it true that my wife's brother cheated on her? Tang Chuan continued to gossip. Get lost. My brother isn't that kind of person. Qin Ning immediately defended her brother. I don't think Daddy is that kind of person either. Handsome Su, you can't spread rumors. Be careful, or I'll get angry with you, Little Bean said with a pout. I'm not spreading rumors. I really feel like something's wrong. Qin Shu and Zhang Manlin. Suyu was just about to defend Huamin when Little Bean interrupted him. Suyu, don't talk about this in front of the kids. Huamin immediately stopped him. Suyu immediately understood what she meant and nodded. Qin Ning was anxious and wanted to ask more questions. But after hearing her sister-in-law's words, she didn't dare to. She could only suppress her curiosity and planned to talk to her brother alone when they got home. She didn't believe that her brother would give up the woman he loved for years and cheat on her so easily. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. On the beach of an island in Indonesia, Lu Yin lay on a bench and sipped fruit juice leisurely. Yin, is it really okay for us to hang out under Ian's nose all day? Xiao Fei felt like this was too exciting. Knowing that Ian was in Indonesia most of the time, Lu Yin came here directly from Pakistan and had a lot of fun. Chapter 2591. Very good. Lu Yin smiled like a blooming flower. She was wearing a yellow floral bikini, and her hot figure was on full display. With her exquisite face, she attracted 100% of the attention. Among the tourists coming and going, there was no one who did not take a second look at this exquisite Oriental Barbie. Filled with jealousy, Xiao Fei grabbed a silk scarf and covered Lu Yan's perfect figure. What are you doing? Lu Yin spat out the straw in her mouth and put the colorful drink aside. Covering your fat body, Xiao Fei said in annoyance. Fuck, are you blind? My body is the golden ratio. How can I be fat? Psycho Xiao, you're eating my food and living in my house. How dare you insult me? Do you want to die? Yeah, it feels good to live off a woman. Xiao Fei purposely tried to provoke her. Humph, I think someone is just jealous. Lu Yin was smug. If you know that, then behave. Don't wear so little and show off. Lu Yin laughed. What? Psycho Xiao, you're from the village, right? Isn't it normal to wear a bikini? When I was on vacation in Australia, I often went skinny dipping. Lu Yin had traveled around the world since she was a child and didn't care about these things. Compared to Huamin's tradition, she was more open. However, she wasn't open about sex. She was only open about clothes. Lu Yin had an exquisite face and a golden ratio body. In the eyes of all the people, she was a great beauty. Even Audrey Hepburn was an angel in the eyes of the people. Therefore, she knew how to take advantage of her beauty. When she was on a difficult mission, she even used the honey trap. However, she would kill the enemy before they could even touch her. Huamin used to think that since Lu Yin was so beautiful, she must take after their father. Later, when he recalled the time he saw their father in the U.S., he thought his father's features were ordinary. Therefore, it was very likely that Huamin looked like their father and Lu Yin looked like their mother. However, she knew very little about her mother. Lu Yin and her father rarely mentioned Dr. Linya, the medical genius. Huamin didn't ask further. The problem was that he didn't have many chances to see Lu Yin and his dad, appearing and disappearing unpredictably, perhaps in the whole world. Only Huamin's family had such an arrangement. It was difficult for biological sisters and biological father and daughter to meet each other. Skinny dipping? Why don't you just run around naked? Xiao Fei glanced at Lu Yin in disdain. As the young master of the Qiao family, the #1 Chinese mafia in Russia, Xiao Fei had followed his father around the world since he was young. He had met many big shots and even heads of state. Lu Yin was joking when she said he was from the village. He had seen all kinds of things, but because of his possessiveness, he didn't want Lu Yin to wear so little and appear in the crowd. Why should his own daughter-in-law be seen by others for nothing? You want to fight, right? Lu Yin stood up and rubbed her palms together, exasperated. Lu Yin loved hand-to-hand combat and liked to spar with a master. Xiao Fei was very good at it, and they often fought to their heart's content. Xiao Fei wouldn't go easy on her just because she was a girl. Of course, Xiao Fei wouldn't really hurt her. Don't talk. Xiao Fei's expression suddenly became serious. Lu Yin immediately understood and quickly turned around. Not far away, a group of men in black suits hurried over. Ian's men are getting more and more useless. Look at the time. They came after lunch. My hands are itching. Then, Lu Yin took out 2 sharp daggers from her handbag. You're using daggers on me? Don't you see they have guns? Xiao Fei glanced at the daggers and was speechless. Chapter 2592. Now, that's exciting. Lu Yin chuckled. Xiao Fei, come on, big brother. I don't even need a knife to deal with these small fries. If it weren't for the fact that this is a tourist attraction and I don't want to scare the innocent tourists, I would have killed them with my bare hands. But for now, let's do it. We'll split up and lure them to 2 sides. Then, we'll end the battle quickly. Okay. Xiao Fei knew Lu Yin's straightforward and violent personality, so he nodded. Is 3 minutes enough? Before Xiao Fei could finish his words, he saw Lu Yin pick up her handbag and walk away briskly. She's over there. Quick, follow her. After discovering Lu Yin's whereabouts, they immediately swarmed toward her. At this moment, Xiao Fei also picked up his bag and walked in the opposite direction of Lu Yin. Immediately, the tall and strong foreigners split into 2 groups and chased after Lu Yin and Xiao Fei. Indonesia headquarters. Ian was sitting in front of a white piano with a tripod, playing the beautiful melody of canon. Sir, one of his subordinates came to report carefully. Ian still didn't speak. He seemed to be intoxicated by the piano music he was playing. I just received news that the second miss has been found. Our men have already followed her. Ian still didn't speak. After he finished playing, he slowly stood up. Then, he fiddled with his fingers, his knuckles cracking. When? I received the news 5 minutes ago. 11 of our men have already gone there. I've already told them to try to capture them alive. 5 minutes? Looks like they're all corpses now, Ian said casually. The man was slightly surprised. Just then, another subordinate ran in. He had a tan face and looked like a native of Indonesia. Sir, all of our men have been killed. See? What did I say? 5 minutes. Lu Yin was merciful enough. If she used a gun, it would have only taken 10 seconds. Sir, we'll send more men over. Are we sending more men to their deaths? Ian glanced at his subordinate coldly. Lu Yin herself is hard enough to deal with. Now that the young boy from the Chow family is more powerful, it won't be easy to catch her. Then are we just going to watch her be so smug, right under our noses? The subordinate asked. You dare to be so smug in front of me? All right. I'd like to see how long she can be smug for. Ian smiled. Ian especially liked the game of cat and mouse. Over the years, he had lost count of the number of women who had died in his hands. There were even fewer women who could pique his interest. Basically, they wouldn't last more than 3 days. Lu Yin was someone he was interested in for years, and his interest in her was growing. Therefore, he didn't want to kill her. At the cliff by the sea, Yin, I think we should leave this place as soon as possible. Ian is very strange. We shouldn't stay here for long. Xiao Fei still felt that it was too risky to stay here. We can't leave. Why? Don't tell me you want to fight Ian now. Do you think you can win? No chance, Lu Yin said honestly. Then why? To be honest, Xiao Fei didn't understand Yan's move. She knew she was in danger, but she still wanted to stay. If this wasn't suicide, then what was? But Lu Yin wasn't someone who liked to die. Could it be? Chapter 2593. To protect my sister. If I can keep messing with Ian, he won't have time to investigate my sister, Lu Yin said nonchalantly. I knew it had something to do with Sister Mian. Xiaofei already had a rough idea. My subordinates have been tracking her for a long time. That psycho Ian has been trying to catch me for years, but he hasn't been able to. Finally, he moved to Sea City. Even if Wasiqian doesn't say anything, I think with Ian's power, he'll expose my sister's identity. Then, she might end up like me, homeless and hunted forever. I don't want her to end up like that. Yin, you feel bad for your sister, but who's going to feel bad for you? Xiaofei looked at Lu Yin with pity. Me? I don't need anyone to feel bad for me. I'm a strong woman. I was born to be a heaven-defying existence. The bombs I've developed are as good as my dad's. But do you know how dangerous it is for you to protect Sister Mian under Ian's nose? I know. The worst-case scenario is getting caught. But even if I'm caught, I won't let him threaten my dad. Ian is an inhuman psychopath. Definitely want my dad to help him develop some kind of biochemical weapon. I'm not going to let him do something so outrageous. That's why when I was being chased by Ian a few years ago, I thought that if I were to fall into his hands one day, then I'd rather commit suicide than let him threaten my dad with my life. Easy for you to say. Aren't you afraid of death? If I'm afraid of death, why would I be a mercenary? Over the years, I've gotten used to licking blood on knives and dancing on coffins. Xiaofei, maybe this is my fate. I don't blame anyone. My life has been amazing. I've received the world's attention since I was born. I'm the daughter of the famous Professor Liu and Dr. Linya. Many medical researchers even said that they'd study my corpse after I died to see if there was any genetic mutation. Not everyone can have such a glorious life. When I was at West Point, I tasted all the pain in the world. The soldiers of West Point were warriors who fought their way out of hell. I've never been afraid of death. When I was 20 years old, I had hundreds of billions of yuan in assets. Even the richest man in a country couldn't live as carefree as I do. A meal of mine can cost hundreds of thousands of yuan, a piece of clothing can cost millions, and a gun I developed myself costs more than 50 million yuan. These numbers are more than ordinary people's lives. Yin, don't you have anything to worry about? Xiaofei asked with a sad expression. He felt like he didn't care enough about Lu Yin. Xiaofei, I told you before that I'm not the right person for you. I'm not suitable to be your wife. With your status, you can choose whoever you want. You don't have to run away with me. The world is big. I just want Lu Yin, Xiaofei said. Why do you have to do this? Lu Yin lowered her head, feeling guilty toward Xiaofei. Sister Mian has a husband and a daughter. Your father still has your mother to worry about. What about you? Lu Yan's words were on the tip of her tongue, but she suddenly felt miserable. Chapter 2594. Don't worry, you didn't have it before, but now. You have me, Xiaofei. From now on, I'll continue to work for you and live off of you. You have to live well, or else I'll starve to death. Xiaofei didn't do it on purpose because he didn't want to burden Lu Yin. But she knew what he was thinking. Xiaofei, after Ian dies, I won't be a mercenary anymore, okay? Let's find a place to live in seclusion with my father, my sister, and the others. Our family will be happy every day, especially lively and lively. Okay, we'll have more kids. I saw that Mian gave birth to twins. Maybe we'll have twins too. You wish. Lu Yin laughed. So, Yin, from now on, don't take yourself lightly. Your life doesn't belong to you alone. Okay. Lu Yin nodded heavily. After we get rid of Ian, let's go to the Roman church and get married. Lu Yin suddenly had an idea. So, you're proposing to me? Yeah, what do you think? Do you want to marry me? No diamond ring, no sincerity. Damn it. You eat and drink my food, and you want a diamond ring? Shameless. No, I won't marry you without a diamond ring. Xiaofei shook his head resolutely. Diamond ring? Let me tell you, the diamonds in my Swiss bank safe can hit your head. Okay, give me all the diamonds in the safe, and I'll consider it. Our friendship is over. Lu Yin turned around. Xiaofei looked at her back and smiled gently, Lu Yin and Xiao Fei had been in Indonesia for 2 days. Other than traveling, Lu Yin couldn't sit still and would go to the black market whenever she had time. When she was itching for a fight, she would go on stage and fight in the black market. Sometimes, she would set up a stall to sell low-quality guns, having a lot of fun. Xiao Fei followed her closely, and the two of them ate and lived together. But nothing had happened. Ian didn't do anything either, which made them even more vigilant. They were afraid that Ian would make a fool out of them. That night, Lu Yin came back from the black market and asked for Russian-style beef. Xiao Fei put on his jacket and went downstairs to buy beef. When he came back, he was surrounded in an alley. "Young master." There were 4 tall men in front and behind. "Why are you here?" "Young master, come back with us." "After you left, old master's temper has been very bad. Many things have been forcefully intervened by second young master. I think the situation is very unfavorable for you. I have already left the Qiao family. From now on, I'm no longer a member of the Qiao family. Whatever Qiao Nin does has nothing to do with me. I will not interfere." "Young master, you're a dignified young master. Why are you being hunted down? Why do you have to go out to buy groceries and cook?" Although old master is angry, he still misses you very much. If you go back, he will definitely be happy and forgive you. "I don't need his forgiveness." "Young master, you guys can leave. I won't go back." Xiao Fei had made up his mind. These people were Xiao Fei's subordinates. The leader was called Asino. Xiao Fei was a cold person. From the moment he decided to leave with Lu Yin, he had cut off all ties with the past. His men were all left in Moscow. After Xiao Fei finished speaking, he carried the beef and walked forward. Suddenly, a gunshot came from behind. Chapter 2595. Xiao Fei dodged instinctively and saw the 4 men shoot at the same time. He immediately dodged, but the 4 of them were determined to kill him. "I knew you guys didn't come with good intentions." Xiao Fei glanced at them coldly. "Young master, don't blame us. We're now second young master's men. Xiao Nin has wanted to kill me for a long time. It's not surprising, but the 4 of you can't kill me." Xiao Fei was confident. "What if I join in?" At this moment, a man in a black windbreaker walked out from behind them with a creepy smile on his face. Xiao Fei was slightly surprised. "Huh, I was wondering how these good-for-nothings could find me. It's you." Xiao Fei was too lazy to call Xiao Nin his second brother. This ambitious man had wanted Xiao Fei dead more than a dozen times since he was a child, whether intentionally or unintentionally. When he was 8 or 9 years old, he pretended to forget to turn off the water and locked the door before going out to play. At that time, Xiao Fei was taking a nap at home and was almost poisoned to death by the media. Fortunately, Xiao Fei's dog sensed something was wrong and barked loudly to wake him up. Only then did he escape. Over the years, the Xiao brothers have been fighting openly and secretly, and the old man knew about it. He wanted to support Xiao Fei and slowly take away Xiao Nan's power. But later, he found that Xiao Nan was very powerful and not easy to deal with. Last time, when Xiao Fei was shot 5 times, his father didn't blame him even though he knew it was Xiao Nan who did it. This was the rule of the king's family, survival of the fittest. The law of the jungle, the strong preyed on the weak. It was said that the most powerful Tibetan mastiffs were raised this way. After they were born, they were placed in a closed space. They were not given food and were allowed to kill each other. The last one was the winner and the ultimate king. It's hard to find you. I have to say, Lu Yin is really good at running away. This time, I have to thank Ian. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to find you so quickly. Huh, you're in cahoots with Ian. Dad will kill you if he finds out. Don't worry, Dad won't have the chance to know because I won't give you the chance to see Dad again. Xiao Fei finally understood that Ian thought it would be more difficult to deal with him here. So he directly told Xiao Nin his whereabouts. Xiao Nin wanted to kill Xiao Fei with a borrowed knife. Xiao Nin wanted to kill Xiao Fei, so he did him a favor. "My dear brother, what do you think? Do you have anything to say?" Xiao Nin took out his pistol and aimed it at Xiao Fei's head. "You can't kill me. Do you think that the old man will come and save you? Give up on that thought. Distant waters can't quench a present thirst. Besides, he doesn't know that you're in Indonesia. Even if he did, it's too late. Xiaonan, it's been a while since we last met. You're getting more and more arrogant. You even dare to touch my people? A crisp voice rang out. They turned around and saw Lu Yin standing behind them. A sexy red dress fluttered in the wind in the air. TSK, I have to say, you're a pretty girl. When Xiao Fei dies, come with me. I won't mistreat you. Xiaonan smiled. With you? Can you do it? I heard you're the master of instant shooting. Lu Yin sneered. Xiaonan's face immediately changed. Chapter 2596. Yin, you won't have any friends if you talk like that. You've never slept with me. How do you know I can shoot in seconds? Xiaonan looked at Lu Yin with a perverted expression. Sleep with you? Look at your 3-inch sausage. I can't even see the curves in your pants. Don't you know? Huamin was sharp-tongued because he didn't know Lu Yin. If he had seen Lu Yin curse someone, he would know what it meant to be ruthless. Hearing this, Xiaonan couldn't hold it in anymore. Damned girl. Don't play word games with me. Your man is still in my hands. Why don't you beg me and see if I'll let him die in one piece if I'm in a good mood? Motherfucker, I've seen a lot of shameless people, but you're the most shameless of them all. They all say that there's no need to be so impatient to kill each other. I suspect that Uncle Xiao accidentally leaked your secret when he went to visit a prostitute back then. You're the bad one. How can you be so despicable? You even want to kill your own brother. Xiaonan, I'm the one you want to kill. Let Yin go. Xiao Fei analyzed the situation and didn't think Lu Yin had a chance of winning. Xiao Nen had 2 masters and 4 traitors with him, so there were 7 of them. Xiaonan wasn't someone to be trifled with, and Xiao Fei had a gun pointed at his head, so the situation was very bad. He didn't want to drag Lu Yin into this. Bullshit. Do I look like a heartless person? Plus, I haven't had enough of you yet. If you don't freeload off of me, who's going to spend my money? Yin. Xiao Fei knew this girl was as stubborn as a donkey. She wouldn't leave just because he said a few words. Very well, since you two want to die together, I'll be the good guy today and grant you your wish. He was about to shoot Xiao Fei when, wait, Lu Yin suddenly yelled. What are you up to now? Xiao Nin looked at Lu Yin warily. Master, be careful. This Lu Yin is very cunning. Even Ian couldn't catch her. Someone beside him reminded Xiaonan. Xiaonan didn't dare to underestimate Lu Yin. Lu Yin took out a silver desert eagle from behind her waist. It was very heavy and had a strong recoil. You're alone with a gun. Do you think you're a match for us? Xiaonan laughed. Fuck, how embarrassing would it be to use a pistol to deal with you guys? Then, Lu Yin took out a small red object from her pocket. As soon as the item was taken out, everyone's expression changed. That's... Xiaonan narrowed his eyes. He only finished half of his sentence. Today, I'll be generous and give you VIP treatment. Have you heard of Ghost Number 1? Hearing Lu Yan's words, Xiaonan and his subordinates all took 3 steps back. They weren't unfamiliar with Ghost Number 1. A while ago, Lu Yan had blown up Ian's Indonesia branch with a super powerful bomb. It even made the Indonesian government furious. What do you want? What do I want to do? You're asking bullshit. Of course, I'm sending you to the afterlife. Lu Yin chuckled. You're lying. If it's really Ghost Number 1, you'll die too. Do you think I'm afraid of death? Lu Yin looked at Xiao Nan in disdain. You wouldn't carry such a dangerous thing with you, Xiao Nan analyzed. Wrong. It's because it's dangerous that I carry it with me. I'm always ready to die with Ian. You guys came at the right time. I didn't see Ian, so it's not cheap to give it to you. Then Lu Yin pretended to press the switch. No, I don't want to die yet. Master, let's go. Xiaonan's subordinates were terrified and almost peed their pants. This seemingly insignificant little thing, once detonated, would cause mass destruction, not to mention the dozen of them. No matter how many miles around, everything would be reduced to ashes. What do you think? Are you going to let my man go, or are you going to hell with us? Lu Yan's smile was still as beautiful as a flower, making it hard to tell if she was lying or not. Chapter 2597. Master, let's let them go. We'll think about it in the future. Xiao Nan's subordinates were scared out of their wits. Xiao Nan didn't want to let go of such a good opportunity, so he looked at Lu Yin unwillingly. I don't believe you'll use Ghost One. If you don't believe me, then try it. Why are you talking so much? Lu Yin didn't care. Master, Lu Yin is crazy. Even Ian can't do anything to her. We can't take the risk. Where there's life, there's hope. Xiao Nan's subordinates were afraid that Xiao Nan would continue to confront Lu Yin. If he angered this woman, he would die together with her. Are you really not afraid of death? Xiao Nan thought that there were many people who said they weren't afraid of death, but few really lived up to their words. There were even fewer people who dared to detonate such a powerful bomb. Lu Yin was only a brat in her 20s. How dare she? If they let them go this time, it would be even harder to catch Xiao Fei next time. Damn it, you're the second young master of the Qiao family. When your mother gave birth to you, did she lose the baby and raise the placenta? When I was 5, I traveled all over the world. When I was 8, I was separated from my father. I ran for my life while dealing with people who wanted to catch me. When I was a teenager, I snuck into the capital of the world, West Point Military Academy. After I graduated, I directly formed a mercenary group. In my dictionary, there's no such thing as fear of death. Because all these years, every day, every minute, every second, I've been fighting against the Grim Reaper. You're asking me if I'm afraid of death? You're a fucking idiot. Lu Yin cursed at Xiao Nan. This was something no one dared to do. In the Qiao family, no one dared to offend Xiao Fei and Xiao Mo. They would rather offend Xiao Nan because he was an extremely vicious person. Therefore, in the whole world, only Lu Yin would do something like this. Ha! You're the first person who dares to be so disrespectful to me. Lu Yin, you've got guts. Xiao Nan sneered. I even dared to curse Ian, let alone you. Don't be so shameless. My time is precious. Even if you want to die, you should hurry. After all, there's a limit to how much Meng Po's soup can I give you, okay? You have 5 seconds to let my man go, or we'll all go to hell together. Then, Lu Yin held the small red machine in her hand and began counting down. 5, 4, I'll let you go. In the end, Xiao Nan admitted defeat. So you admit defeat? You want to be the overlord of a region with your ugly face? What the fuck? Lu Yin looked down on Xiao Nan. A person who was afraid of death couldn't achieve great things. Lu Yin had always despised people who were afraid of death. Xiao Nan gritted his teeth. He hated Lu Yin to the core, but there was nothing he could do. After all, Lu Yin was the only one in the world who had Ghost One since she had invented it herself. It was said that after the research and development was successful, a terrorist organization offered billions of dollars to buy it. In the end, the lady only replied with 2 words, no. Xiao Nan wasn't sure how many Ghost Number 1 as Lu Yin had, but he knew how powerful they were after witnessing Ian's Indonesia branch being bombed. Therefore, he absolutely did not dare to let his guard down. Let him go, Xiao Nan ordered, and his subordinates all retreated. Lu Yin strutted over and helped Xiao Fei up. Looking at their departing figures, Xiao Nan's heart was already extremely unbalanced. Lu Yin, I won't let you go, Xiao Nan thought angrily. Inside a cave in the slums of Indonesia, Lu Yin was changing the bandages on Xiao Fei's thigh because of a gunfight. Fuck, take off your pants, Lu Yin ordered impatiently. Chapter 2598. What do you want? Xiao Fei looked up and glanced at Lu Yan's face. What do I want? To do you, Lu Yin said in a huff. Xiao Fei, take it off. Give me some time to prepare. I think it's too sudden. Xiao Fei was shy, which was rare for him. He blushed. Although he had always wanted to sleep with Lu Yin, he didn't expect the moment to come so soon. It was a pleasant surprise, seeing Xiao Fei's thoughts wander. Lu Yin punched him on the head. Damn it, you're thinking too much. I'm going to change your bandages. Xiao Fei was embarrassed. Take it off. Don't dawdle. My patience is limited. Finally, under Lu Yan's urging, Xiao Fei slowly pulled down his trousers. Underneath was a pair of black boxer briefs. Lu Yan squatted down with the first aid kit and rolled up a corner of his underwear. Sure enough, there were bullet marks on his thigh. Xiao Nan is a despicable man. I don't know if the bullets are poisoned. I have to scrape off the rotten flesh. In order not to affect your brain, I'm not going to give you anesthesia. It might hurt a lot. Bear with it. Okay. Xiao Fei nodded. Lu Yan pulled out her dagger and burned it with a candle. Then, she carefully scraped off the rotten flesh. Although it was just skin on the surface, it was still very painful. Although Xiao Fei was a tough guy, he didn't make a sound, but his forehead was covered with sweat. Almost done. Then, Lu Yan quickly treated the wound. She used iodophor to reduce the inflammation and sprinkled some white powder on it. This is a wound medicine I developed myself. In less than 3 days, you'll regrow your flesh and recover. Okay, it's done. Lu Yan was in a good mood. After treating the wound, she patted Xiao Fei's thigh with her small white hand. The thigh was a sensitive part of man. Being patted by her, Xiao Fei actually had a reaction. Lu Yan was a bit confused when she saw the tent that suddenly appeared. Although this great aunt wasn't afraid of anything and knew everything from the heavens to the earth, when it came to matters between men and women, she only knew the theory and had never put it into practice. So, she didn't react immediately. He even touched it with his hand out of curiosity. What's going on here? Are there any external injuries? Yan, don't move. Xiao Fei stopped her in time. What's wrong? Lu Yan looked confused. I'm afraid I won't be able to resist eating you. Xiao Fei blushed. Only then did Lu Yan realize what was going on, and she blushed furiously. Fuck, you're really shameless. How can you do this? Please. You were the one who touched me. I didn't do anything, Xiao Fei said innocently. Psycho Xiao, you took advantage of me. Lu Yan immediately covered her face with her hands. All right, stop fooling around. Let me ask you, was the thing you were holding in your hand really ghost number 1? Xiao Fei asked seriously. Hearing this, Lu Yan immediately put down her hand and smiled smugly. Take a guess. I guess not. Why? Lu Yan was curious. Because of ghost number 1, since a terrorist organization offered billions to buy it back then, the cost of production must be very high. I don't think you would make many of such expensive things, much less carry them with you. Smart. So what was the thing you threatened Xiao Nan with? Xiao Fei was curious. Chapter 2599. Are you talking about this? Lu Yan took out a tiny object from her pocket. Xiao Fei took a step back subconsciously, making Lu Yan giggle. Don't be scared. This isn't Ghost 1. So this is? It's just a tiny tracker. Lu Yan smiled. Tracker. Okay, you scared Xiao Nan away with this thing. You're awesome. Xiao Fei gave her a thumbs up. Wrong. Xiao Nan wasn't scared of Ghost 1. He was scared of my fearless determination. After all, those who have nothing to lose are not afraid of those who have nothing to lose. Anyways, it was too dangerous this time. We can't do it again, Xiao Fei said faintly. How dare you say that? I did it to save you. I don't care if I die, but you can't die. Xiao Fei was adamant. Bullshit. If you die, what's the point of me living? Lu Yan blurted out in anger. She didn't even think about it. It was only after he finished speaking that he realized what he had said. Listening to it carefully, it sounded like a naked confession. Xiao Fei was surprised and happy. So, Yan, you're willing to live and die with me, right? In your dreams. I'm just afraid that I'll be bored after you die, Lu Yan said stubbornly. But no matter what she said, she couldn't hide her feelings. Yan, it seems like my feelings for you weren't in vain. Xiao Fei looked at the beautiful girl in front of him lovingly. Stop talking nonsense. I'm so hungry. Let's go out and eat. No, the beef I bought is still here. Didn't you want to eat stewed beef? I'll make it for you. Then, Xiao Fei stood up and carefully took out the beef he bought. After going through a life and death battle, he didn't expect that the beef was still there and that he would still remember it. Lu Yan's eyes moistened. Ever since she got together with Xiao Fei, she was easily touched. She was a fearless tomboy, but now she had a gentleness unique to young girls. When Xiao Fei went to cook, Lu Yan leaped onto the roof and sat down with her knees bent, watching the setting sun in the distance. She looked down, turned on the radio watch on her wrist, and pressed a familiar number. "Hello, I'm Huamin." In his office, Huamin picked up the phone while reading the documents Chun Jie had sent him. "Sister," she said softly. Huamin was extremely excited. "Little Yin, is that you?" "Yes." "Where are you? Are you okay? Why haven't you called me recently? Are you hurt? You're still in Russia? Did Dad contact you? How is he?" Huamin wished he could ask a bunch of questions. Lu Yin chuckled. "Sis, how am I supposed to answer all your questions?" Lu Yin smiled. "Then I'll ask you one by one. Are you okay?" Huamin asked gently. "MHM good." Lu Yin wouldn't tell Huamin that she and Xiao Fei had just experienced a thrilling chase. "Then are you still in Russia with the Xiao family?" Huamin heard from Qin Shu that the Qiao family had a lot of influence in Russia. So, if Lu Yin stayed in Russia, she should be safe. "MHM, I'm still in Russia." Lu Yin lied to reassure her sister. "Then, is your boyfriend good to you?" "Very good. Don't worry, sis. Have you contacted Dad recently?" Huamin asked immediately. Chapter 2600. "Yeah, Dad's fine. That old man's smarter than I am. He'll be fine," Lu Yin joked. You're always so arrogant. Be careful, okay?" "I know. Sis, how are you doing?" "I'm fine." "Really? How come I heard that you're getting a divorce?" Lu Yin was always well informed. "Oh, it's just a small conflict. The media likes to hype things up. Don't worry about it. How are Little Bean and Pudding?" "They're fine. Don't worry." "Okay. If someone bullies you, tell me. I'll blow her up for you." "Haha. Okay." Huamin liked Lu Yin very much because she was very similar to him in many ways. She was fearless, brave in the face of danger, and hot-tempered to blow people up for no reason. Huamin loved her very much. "Sis, what are you laughing at?" "I'm serious. I have many bombs of all kinds. The most advanced bombs in the world, homing missiles, and even rocket launchers. I can get them all." "Huh?" Huamin laughed. "I'm serious. I'm not kidding." "I know. Then why are you laughing? I feel like you don't believe me and think I'm bragging." Lu Yin rubbed her temples in frustration. "No, it's just that. I'm just an ordinary person. You really don't need to use rocket launchers." "Haha, it's such a waste." Okay. Anyways, sis, don't be afraid of anything. I'll protect you if anything happens." "Okay. Yin, I have to be careful too." "Okay. I know. It's okay." "Okay, sis, I'll hang up now." "Okay." So soon, Huamin was reluctant to hang up. He rarely talked to Lu Yin on the phone, so he didn't want to hang up. "International calls are expensive," Lu Yin said deliberately. "Nonsense. You don't need money." Huamin laughed. He knew Lu Yin was very rich. Just the gifts she gave the twins were worth more than 100 million yuan. "I'm just teasing you. I still have something to do here, so I can't chat with you for too long. But I'll call you often." "Okay. You have to remember to tell me that you're safe." "Okay, then. Goodbye, sis." "Goodbye, Yin." After hanging up, Lu Yin was a bit disappointed. She didn't want to sit and chat with Huamin in a cafe. She went shopping with her sister, bought some clothes, got a beauty salon, and played golf. However, that had never been her way of life. She was destined to be a queen from the moment she was born. Sometimes, she would fantasize about how great it would be if she was the one her parents had lost. Then, she could be like her sister and live an ordinary life. She wanted to go to university, do what she liked, get a boyfriend she loved deeply, and then get married after graduation and have a bunch of babies of her own. However, the dreams of ordinary people were out of Lu Yan's reach. "Yinner, dinner is ready. We can eat now." Xiao Fei stood below the house and looked up at the roof. "Okay." Lu Yan only said one word. Then, she leaped down from the roof. She jumped down from a height of more than 3 meters. She had to admit that she was very good at martial arts. While they were eating and chatting, Lu Yin suddenly asked emotionally, Xiao Fei, do you know what my dream was when I was 5 years old? Was it to be a bomb expert? Xiao Fei asked. Chapter 26:01. Damn it. Don't tease me. Fine, I was still young back then and didn't know about explosives. I wanted to be a mercenary or a bomb expert. Then what did you want to be? Lu Yin lowered her head and took a sip of the beef soup. Then she looked up and said seriously, my dream was to be an architect. An architect? Xiao Fei froze. This didn't match Lu Yan's temperament at all. Yes, architect. At that time, I didn't know that this profession was called architect. I just thought that when I grew up, I would build a house. I would build a lot of beautiful houses for my family, my friends, my teachers, and my classmates to live in. Even, I would build iconic houses like the Palace of Versailles in France, the Taj Mahal, and the Forbidden City in China. Houses that would be remembered by many for many years. I felt that if others lived in the houses I designed, I would feel a sense of accomplishment. That's a good dream, Xiao Fei praised. Yeah. Later, when I grew up, I gradually understood that sometimes people don't have a choice in this world. You can't do whatever you want. So, I envy my sister. She can be a doctor whenever she wants to. She can do what she likes. She's so happy. In the future, we'll get rid of Ian and change our names. We'll go to a country you like, a city you like, and start over. Then, you won't be the demoness of the mercenary world, and I won't be the young master of the Qiao family. We'll live a normal life, okay? Okay. Lu Yin clapped her hands happily like a child. What about you, Xiao Fei? What's your dream? If we have a chance to start over, what do you want to do? I want to open a restaurant. A restaurant? Lu Yin was surprised. My great-grandfather's father was a chef from the Qing dynasty. His cooking was especially delicious. It's said that his all-fish banquet was very famous at that time, and he was even summoned by the Qing dynasty's emperor to cook for him in the palace's imperial kitchen. It's just that, later, when the dynasty changed, there was unrest, and our family lost this skill. When my great-grandfather was a firebrand, he made a fuss about wanting to cook the Qiao family's private home cuisine, but he didn't agree, saying that it wouldn't make much money. In the end, we relied on underhanded means to build up our family's business and ended up in our current state. If we can live without our current identities in the future, I want to open a Qiao family's private home cuisine restaurant. Damn, that's a good idea. But what can you do? Do you only sell stewed beef? Lu Yin covered her mouth and laughed. Of course not. I know a lot. I've done a lot of research on this. In the future, I'll make one for you every day. Okay, I'm in for a treat. So, you want to be my wife? Xiao Fei began to be narcissistic. Humph, don't be so smug. You're lucky to marry me. With your wife protecting you, no one will dare to bully you. Who cares if it's Xiao Nan or Ian? If anyone dares to touch my man, I'll beat them into a pulp. As she spoke, Lu Yin began to transform into a tough woman. However, Xiao Fei didn't mind at all. He looked at Lu Yin with love in his eyes. He felt that in his heart, no woman in the world could compare to Lu Yan's childish smile. Perhaps falling in love with someone was that simple. Whether it was in this life, the next life, or the life after that, he wanted to be with her and never get tired of her. Inside Southside Recuperation Center, Vice Director Huamin, bad news. Dr. Lu is in trouble. Hurry up and take a look. A doctor knocked on the door in a hurry to inform Huamin. Chapter 26:02. Which Dr. Lu? Huamin didn't know how to react. Southside was so big, and there were so many doctors with the surname Lu. How did Huamin know which one it was? It's Dr. Lu Zhe. What happened to him? Huamian didn't really like Lu Zhe and was always on guard against him. Therefore, when she heard that something had happened to him, she was worried. Huamin wasn't worried at all. Instead, he was suspicious and on guard. Dr. Liu fainted in the operating room. Fainted? Is the surgery done? It's done. Thank goodness it's done. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to find another doctor. Okay, I'll go take a look. When Liu Zhe fainted in the operating room, the news spread like wildfire at Southside. Director Wu was rarely around, so Huang Mian, as a higher-up, had to go and see what was going on. Inside the emergency room, Vice Director is here. Everyone make way. When they saw Huang Min, everyone made way for him. Huang Min walked in. How is it, Dr. Zhao? What happened to Dr. Liu? Huang Min asked the doctor who saved Liu Zhe. I just did a checkup on Dr. Liu and found that he has hypoglycemia. Dr. Liu has been working overtime recently. He's been working the night shift for a few days and had 3 major surgeries in a row. He's exhausted and his blood sugar is low. That's why he fainted. Vice Director, I suggest that you give him a break and let him rest. Okay, I got it. Huang Min let out a sigh of relief when he heard that it wasn't a big deal. When she walked into the emergency room, Liu Zhe had already woken up. He didn't look well. However, when he saw Huang Min, he forced a smile. Vice Director, you're here. Rest well. If you have hypoglycemia, you can't be too tired. Why are you working overtime? Huang Min looked at him. Our department is short of manpower recently. Because we were transferred to the first hospital, we are very busy. Dr. Wang's daughter has been having a fever recently, so I let her take her annual leave in advance. I thought I could handle it for a few days. Who knew that I would be so unlucky to encounter 3 major operations? Haha. He smiled tiredly. We can only save other people's lives if we take good care of ourselves. How about this? From now on, I'll give you a week off. No. If I'm on vacation, there will be no one in our department. Liu Zhe objected. Don't worry. I'll make the necessary arrangements. You can rest well. With that, Huang Min turned to leave. Vice Principal, anything else? Do you hate me? Liu Zhe suddenly asked. Why do you say that? As the leader of the hospital, I treat everyone equally, Huang Min said in a formal tone. Vice Director, you're lying. You don't treat everyone equally. I know you hate Zhang Manlin and me. Ha! You hate Zhang Manlin because she seduced your husband. What about me? Why do you hate me? We used to be classmates. I don't understand. I don't hate you, Dr. Liu. You're thinking too much. Vice Director, if you don't hate me, can you shake my hand and make peace with me? Liu Zhe reached out his hand. Huang Min actually didn't want to shake his hand, but there were so many doctors and nurses watching. If she didn't give Liu Zhe a way out, she would look petty. Therefore, she had to bite the bullet and shake his hand. The moment she shook Liu Zhe's hand, Zhang Manlin took out her phone from behind the crowd and took a photo. She sent it to Qin Chu on Weibo. President Qin, our vice director seems to care a lot about Dr. Liu, she said. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.